Hey guys, it is the 16th of May, straight smack dab into the season. Although, can we really say we're just smack dab in the middle of the season if we're just like in the middle of sort of what's going on, right? We could be in like the first tenth of the season for all we know, right? This season I think is gonna last probably another couple of 6 months or something like that, right? Because everything's just getting delayed. But
I
anyway,
mean, we're fucking 4 episodes in, and we're only on episode sixes of
yeah,
shows. So
exactly. And they're only this is a little bit of spoiler for our summer preview show that might be happening. I want to say might be happening in a month or so, but there are only like I want to say 10 shows announced for announced for the summer. That's not good.
Well, I
But
already
anyway,
got one slot filled up, so you guys have to fight for the rest.
fight for the fucking scraps.
the other 9, yeah,
Enough. Wow. Hey, man, enough content for 2 podcasts.
yeah. But anyways,
Hopefully, none of them are shorts.
yeah. It's like 9 shows, and 3 of them are still gonna be
Well,
like
I,
Fujoshi shows.
well, I got 2 movies, so yeah.
Oh my god. But yeah, anyways, we'll think of what'll happen then. But for now, we are here on episode 144 of 4Player Animecast. I am your host, Spire, mildly sweltering on this May summer, or I guess early summer day. And with me are my compatriots, Nier,
Yeah.
Toast,
Can you believe in the 1500s there existed simps?
and Dark.
Hey,
Yeah, so we are all gathered here. Thankfully, nobody has become
Dark, you okay?
sick or anything.
yeah,
All
all
right,
right.
all right.
I apparently I never had the coronavirus,
Yeah.
according to my antibody test. So oh shit.
That's
Well,
good.
there goes the fucking
There
I
goes
motherfucking.
sh-
the
I
Oh
sure
no.
relationship.
love I
Oh
sure
Oh
no.
love
shit.
I sure love Inugame Korone streams. Yeah, me too.
Yeah. Anyways, let's start off with Nier. What have you been up to these past 2 weeks? Although that generally has been quiet. Well, not even. It's like anime wise, it's been quiet, right? But like in a lot
Yeah.
of other stuff, it's been pretty active, right? In my
Near,
opinion.
near, near.
Did BNA end? Because it's
Oh.
on episode 12, and I haven't seen a new one posted yet.
I haven't been watching because
Damn.
I'm not gonna lie, the show's not very
Near. How's the Niagara Falls? I heard it's good protection.
what?
All
You know.
all that
From the
a
Mongols?
virus can't survive the water, right?
No.
Yeah, so you're good, right?
That's whatever, dude. I haven't really been up too much, honestly. I've just been just playing games.
All the games.
What games? Tell us.
I'm playing Monster Hunter. Got back into that a little bit.
Oh, Nier. That reminds me. You should wait, you haven't done well no, you've done Magicoi, right? But you haven't done Kohime, right?
I haven't finished Koihime.
You haven't finished. Yeah, that's understandable. You should
Here
you
brings
should
up
do
games, and this
Kohime.
guy brings up books.
Books, reading, god damn it. But yeah, you should play some visual novels since a lot of them are actually coming out recently. Like a shit
Yeah, I
like the
should.
flow is like speeding up, which is
The Angel Beats thing
oh,
got translated, right? I need to
yes, Angel Beats did get translated.
I need
That's
to
actually
read that.
both Angel Beats and one other thing that we'll be talking about. But
Yeah.
anyways, keep going.
But yeah, I've been playing Monster Hunter, still playing Runeterra. Game's pretty fun. I kind of taken a break from Shadowverse just because playing 2 card games is kind of like
Yeah, that's not good.
How's the
it's kind of
Shadowverse
no
anime?
bueno.
How's the anime?
I mean, it is an anime for children. Um, can really only keep your attention for so long. But yeah, been pretty kind of just like floating along, you know.
Yeah.
It's not really
Floating along the Niagara Falls. I
I
feel
think
you.
that I
really,
think that's like what most of us have been doing,
yeah,
honestly.
it's not really exciting times right now. So, you know, kind of just sleeping, playing games, farming and gacha, you know, the huge.
Yeah. Okay, so that's pretty good, and you'll be again telling us a little bit about another sort of series that we were all waiting for in our summer previews, or
Yeah,
sorry,
one of
spring previews.
the last series that I was
The
gonna watch
last good
that
series of
isn't
2020,
delayed.
possibly.
Yeah.
The last good series of 2020, possibly. But yeah, so you'll be telling us a little bit of that shortly. Toast, what have you been up to?
Huh? In the anime field?
Anime, I guess if a little bit in general if you want
Anime is so 2019 inspired.
to.
2020 is the year of the VTuber. Okay. Anime is 2D. VTuber is 2.5D.
The point five is important, yes.
Yeah, they can talk back to you now.
Do they though?
Yes.
Do they?
Give them super chats and they'll talk back to you.
I'm not sure if I want to do that. But you just keep going.
Join the simp side, Spire.
Oh
You know you
my
want
God.
to. You know
I don't even look at chat.
you're in this deeper than the rest of us. You just don't want to admit it.
Maybe, but anyways, keep going.
It's true. You're famous.
Yeah, Mr. I make.
They're talking about you on Reddit, bro.
Yeah,
On the Reddit.
Miss.
You made it.
I make
Yeah.
VTuber clips.
All the internet fames. Anyways, keep going, Toast.
No, that's all I got.
Alright,
I've been watching VTubers.
okay.
That's it.
That's
What do you
decent.
got?
A lot of people do that these days. But anyways, pretty good. Dark. What have you had? What have you have had for us prepared? Question mark. These past 2 weeks. I don't know what
You
that sentence
know,
was.
I
Oh, I remembered what I was doing, but okay.
been
Go.
watching some stuff.
Who's your favorite
Been
VTuber,
watching.
Dark?
Doesn't you watch Pekka like all the time?
No,
No?
I mean Pekara's streams I've been watching, but I don't know. I like some of her streams, but I think the highlight so far has been Metal Gear. The Metal
Yeah.
Gear
Yeah.
streams for me. The Metal Gear streams were fucking incredible.
Mhm.
Those games are absolutely ridiculous when they're played on easy mode. Like, holy shit. But yeah, I would say probably it's kind of a toss up between her, Miko, and Subaru at this point. Subaru's streams have been pretty fun.
Subaru's like herself is like a very like she's just very good like as a entertainment person. So
Yeah, especially the her Hitman streams were pretty good, as were her what was the other stream?
7 Days to Die.
Yeah, her 7 Days to Die streams are pretty great because it's just an hour like and a half of just chaos.
Is
So,
it because
those
she's
are pretty
the
good.
is it because she's the bokeh of and not the Sukomi? Isn't she the
guess.
butt of the jokes of most of season 2 or season generation 2?
yeah.
I mean, she gets made fun of a lot, even in her 7 Days to Die streams. So wouldn't be that surprised. But yeah, so been watching that. Been keeping up with some shows. Been watching Villainous. Been watching the other one. I started Kaguya-sama season 2. And that's been pretty cool because it's been done by Funimation since they broke up with Crunchyroll in the meantime.
Mhm.
So Funimation has the rights to that show now. So instead of getting literal meme subs, we get like actually, semi decent subs.
But I love
So
memes.
that's been like, but then again, like anything is better than what we got for fucking season 1 of Kaguya-sama. So, you know, that's been something to keep up with.
Pretty good.
Other than that, haven't really been doing a whole lot. Just been playing like I'm playing League of Legends.
Yeah.
Greatest game ever made. It's so good. Let me tell you.
Thank you,
Uh,
Ryan.
It's like I never left 5 years ago. it's pretty fucked up because if we weren't in the situation we were in, there's no way. Like as soon as this shit's over, I'm probably gonna wind up dropping League entirely.
Yeah,
Because it's
it's
like I'm gonna start going back to like work in an office and fucking like that takes time to get there, commuting and shit. But then also, I'm gonna be spending like 2 hours at the gym again, so
play
that's
League at the gym.
basically all of my League time.
Yeah,
But,
the thing is, again, I was talking about this with you, right? Where it's like it's not like people are doing degenerate stuff. It's like people are just doing stuff that like they would never think of doing if they were not in quarantine. Which is
yeah, it's like if I just didn't have all this fucking time, I wouldn't be doing this at all. So
very
that's
strange.
been pretty crazy. But I've been doing that, been still doing a little bit of 3D modeling stuff here and there. Kind of burnt myself a bit just because I was doing it for like 15 hours a day for like a week straight. So
How's your
taking a
VTuber
brief
model
break.
going along?
That's mostly complete. Now I'm just doing like animation shit for VR chat. I'm reading into that, trying to
Nice,
figure out how that works. Though I've also held off because I fucking cut open the side of my finger a couple days ago while doing full body VR and Blade and Sorcery. So that was cool.
Okay.
Those blades sure are sharp, huh?
Yeah, I guess that's what I get for trying to play a fucking like psycho murder simulator at this point.
Okay.
Really all it is.
Yeah. But yeah. So with regards to again anime, you've been catching up a little bit. So
Just catching up with stuff and keeping up with everything. Overall, it's been a pretty alright season.
Okay. Pretty good.
What you got, Spire? What you got?
It's been strange. I don't know. I feel like I've been making. I mean, it's weird because it's like I've been using my time a little bit more like by that I mean like how it's like when everybody kind of came under the quarantine, they were kind of just like kind of wandering around, kind of sitting there, kind of watching Netflix, kind of stuff like that, right? Like don't know what's going on. And then I've been kind of obviously been in the same sort of limbo, but been trying to use my time in a lot more stuff, whether it's reading or doing my exercise a little bit more efficiently, and then doing other stuff like studying, blah blah blah.
Can you
And
confirm that the current
yeah,
situation is akin to slavery?
okay, the slavery. I have heard something
Yeah,
like
bro.
that on the news waves, yes, but no comment on that. But either way, I've been trying to use my time a little bit more productively, and strange thing is I've found time to like not like make a full revival, but like start going back and reading more visual novels and light novels and stuff like that, which is a little
What's
bit
your hot take this year week? Week.
my hot take. What do you mean by
What's the
like?
new hotness this week?
I don't think there's. I mean, this I don't know about this week, but I don't think there's been like a real new like hot anything so far. A lot of it's been pretty much
What's the
like a
newest
lot of
fashion trend, Spire?
Yeah,
what
Spire.
is
To us?
Are you going to
What
the
about that
fashion trend?
shit? What did I link? What did I link like a couple of days ago? That was a VN. It's on Steam.
Well, I don't know about I don't know what you posted, but one another recent thing that's not Angel Beats that's been translated, and Pio points out in chat is Totono, which is the a very classic old game by Nitro Plus, called what is it? It's like Kimi to Kanojo no Koi, which is again the abbreviation is Totono, and it's just like it's essentially Doki Doki Literature Club before Doki Doki Literature Club was a thing.
Don't
So
you
it's the
mean?
best thing ever.
Yeah, pretty much.
Don't you
So
mean
good.
Katawa Shoujo?
No, I don't know. That's
Oh,
not what I
Shoujo,
mean.
holy shit.
But
That was
yeah,
the best hot Western VN before
You
Doki
mean
Doki's.
the first VN ever made?
yeah, that's
Yeah.
true. But there was stuff like that. I don't really read visual novels like that because I'm not.
Why do you hate the white man, Spire?
Yeah, sorry. I just hate America. Sorry, but there's been stuff like that out recently. There's been other stuff like a lot of stuff from like Ubisoft, Senran Blanca. What is it? There was the Kisa Stella, Cafe Stella that hasn't been translated yet. There's a bunch of stuff that's been like visual novels have been just gushing out by the wazoo. Like it's I don't know how to say this. It's like
I haven't seen them on the front page of Steam.
Yeah.
sorry,
Oh.
yeah, it doesn't exist. Sorry, because it's not on Steam. But it's very weird to me, and I think Nier might you know empathize or might be able to understand. But you know, back back when I was young, right? This sort of talk, right? But back then, right? It's just like if a translated visual novel came out, like I don't know, what do you want to say, like every 3 or 5 years, like fan translated or real, right? That would be
Yeah.
pretty fucking fast. That would be fast, like any visual novel. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Not like a visual novel from a specific company or like this sort of visual novel. Any visual novel. It could be a Nukige, it could be like a 10-minute thing, whatever. If any visual novel came out within like a couple of years, that'd be fast. And now it's just like every month, it's like, yeah, we just like finished the translation thing. And it's like, yeah, all that existed was Arab facing says on chat. But it's very it's almost scary to me.
What
these
about
days.
Tsukihime? No one remembers Tsukihime. Ah.
But it is very interesting to me. So I've been kind of been able to make time and get back into it, and it's been very nice. Other than that, I haven't been doing too much. Again, just kind of filling out my time, trying to make myself a little bit more productive throughout the day. But that's about it. And I'll be again talking about a little something that I watched
Hold,
these
hold,
past 2 weeks.
hold on, Spry. I gotta. Do you consider RPG Maker visual novels as visual novels? Yes. No.
Okay, here's the thing. I don't necessarily have anything against, like Python visual novel stuff or like RPG Maker kind of stuff.
What about I think
But
Wolf Engine, or is that what is that called? Wolf
yeah,
RPG?
all this like garbage, whatever, non in-house, whatever stuff, non proprietary stuff. But the issue I have is that usually the kinds of people that use stuff like RPG Maker and the Python engine and whatever stuff like that are usually not the types of people who A have the resources and B have the sort of commitment to create a quality story, visual novel, whatever, everything, right? So that's usually what I see. There could be an exception someday. There could be an RPG Maker game or like some sort of Python visual novel game that's amazing story and it has really good sprites for some reason, although the UI is garbage. And I'd be okay with that, right? Like, if the sprites are really cool, the sprites are really nice. Even the backgrounds can be shit. Give me good character sprites, good story, right? And like maybe not like shitty voice acting, right? I'd be down with that. You can have UI as shitty as
You're
you want.
asking for a whole lot for a fucking RPG Maker game,
Yeah,
bro.
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. That's exactly like that. That's the point, right? I'm trying to make. Like, people are not like by
Like,
locking
I want
yourself
good
into RPG.
sprites. You're getting fucking recolors, but all
Yeah,
right.
I know. It's like the moment people lock themselves into RPG Maker, Python, RenPy, or whatever the fuck, right? Is you're already in that sort of how do I say it, mindset, culture, atmosphere where you're already like, well, this is it, right? So that's what I'm kind of always looking down, right? So
What Inspire? Don't sleep on RPG Maker games. You,
so
you,
it's like, I
you
will
know you
I
know
will sleep on it.
you know most are under $15. That's a good deal. Also,
I'm not really
That's
looking
a
for good.
steal.
I'm not exactly the type of person that goes to like the nearby Walmart and looks looks for the bargain bins. Like,
The
what is a good
bargain bin
visual novel?
video games?
Yeah,
Like, oh,
bargain
dude.
bin visual novels.
well, Spire. Remember this.
What?
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, remember this, Fire. Some of those RPG Maker games have gotten animes already. What do you think about that?
Wait, some of those have gotten what?
Some of those have gotten animes already. You know which ones I'm talking about?
Which ones?
What?
Uh-oh.
Yeah. You know Melty's Quest, that famous RPG Maker game that's on Steam. That got an anime.
When?
What?
I think this year. It's like pretty recent.
Uh-huh.
You know, in one of my favorite.
I think. Are you talking about like a hentai OVA? Like,
And-
yeah, it's like a hentai.
Hentai is anime, yes.
Okay, well, a lot of stuff could get.
You
hentai.
know
Yeah,
what?
Spire, if we have to fucking spell it out for you, God.
I don't know where this coming from.
You know what my favorite. You know what my hot take in RPG Maker games turned hentai is right now? Ochimono RPG. You can Google the rest.
Even the
It's
name
pretty hot.
already
That's
fucking.
not
I
a.
don't.
That's
on.
not what you call a hot take, dude.
It's got 4 episodes. That's already a lot. I think.
I guess.
Yeah,
it's,
4.
again,
Yeah,
pretty
4.
good in I guess it's pretty good considering the spring lineup. But yes. Anyways, thank you,
No,
Toast.
it's got 4 episodes. It's like twice as many episodes as a fucking spring show.
Yeah, exactly. Anyways, with that being said, thank you everybody for sharing your, how the past 2 weeks have gone. And hopefully, we can.
Your mic is kind of fucked, by the way, bro.
Oh no.
Sorry, can you hear me better now?
Yes.
And hopefully, we, thank you guys for telling us, telling the viewers about the past 2 weeks, and hopefully we can kind of keep going in a sort of, stable manner. Nobody, getting sick or whatever. But with that said, Toast, what do you have for us today?
All right. You know how some famous artists that you follow on Twitter and Pixiv and whatnot actually turn out to be women?
Okay.
Scary.
Yeah. You know that grim future ahead of you?
Okay.
You see some hot takes like hold on, is
Dude,
Asanagi a woman? I don't know. I never looked that
Fatal
up.
Pulse, what about
No.
it?
Oh.
Okay.
Oh,
What are-
You know how Tokoyami Toa's artist did a collab with Marine and everyone's like, "Whoa, that's a chick." Also,
what? Okay. Yeah.
Pochi's also a chick.
Yes, but we knew
Also,
this, right? Yes.
no, did we?
I did.
Didn't
Yeah,
everyone?
We've known this for a while.
Didn't everyone thought that who's the one that posted that picture of that hot older like MILF person that was doing dojins of herself? That was
what? Dojins of herself?
yeah.
the
I
dojins of
don't-
herself or just other MILF
I believe it was of herself.
I don't know.
No. Where am I going with this? Oh yeah.
Huge brain strat.
No idea, dude.
Tsukidani Norio, also a chick, but it plays a male VTuber, so I can't tell the difference.
Okay. So where are we going with this?
This is the wrong episode. Whoops, there we go. Okay. So, this all started back in the 1500s during the Renaissance era
You're right, Toast.
with Arte. Yeah, I watched
Yes.
Arte. Did you
the
know Arte?
originator of art.
Did you know Arte is the first female Italian Renaissance painter?
Ever.
She's actually this anime is based off of Artemisia Gentileschi. So yeah, it's historical non-fiction.
No, it's not. Yeah. Well, let's say inspired by, right?
It's no, yeah, Toast. It's historical fiction, not non-fiction.
Yeah, that's what I said, right?
No, you said non-fiction.
Oh,
Let's keep going.
yeah. So, 1500s is the Renaissance, right? Fancy Rome stuff.
Around
Was
there,
it
I think.
paintings? Oh yeah, apparently Donatello and Michelangelo died a few years before this anime was made. So
Was made,
yeah,
yeah, before the anime was made.
so rip to them.
Yeah, it's been a few.
Because I had to look this up because also Leonardo da Vinci, I believe.
Yeah, man.
Because I looked it up because the dude's name is Leo, and I was like, wait, like Leonardo da Vinci? And then it's like, no, he's dead. And I'm like, oh, all right.
Oh my god.
Coffin meme. There you go. All right, where am I going with this? Oh yeah. So
Okay, what about
Arte's this fancy Italian noble lady. She's like, I like to paint, and her mom's like, no, you're a woman. Also, before I could before I continue, let's just say that this is the year 2020. I believe in gender equality. This anime does not take place in 2020, so this is all historical. What is it? Historical reenactments. Yeah. So back in the 1500s, Arte's mom was like, "No, you're a woman. You're not. You don't like art.
You don't like.
You don't like art."
You hate art.
And then she burns all her drawings, and then Arte's mom is like, "No, you gotta be a woman. You gotta please your man. Learn to be a seamstress and do women's jobs." And Arte's like, "No, Dad died, but he told me to be a painter. Shut up, Mom." And then she leaves her nobility house, and then she goes around Italy asking for apprenticeship, because back in the day, being an artisan slash painter is an apprentice is a artisan job. You gotta be an apprentice to learn it and whatnot. And then all the men she asks are like women in my
Women.
yeah, they're like women in my
Looks into the camera.
artist. What's an artist's workshop called again? Yeah, there's a fancy term.
A studio?
No,
What are you really
a fancier term.
A studio.
I know. I get. You just go with studio for now. Right?
Sure,
Like,
okay,
Yeah,
okay.
I think it's
Art
I
studio.
Don't really know what else. It would
Yeah,
be.
there's like a fancy one-word term, like a.
But
Studio
Wait,
is one word, bro.
It's like a bodega or no. It's on the tip of my tongue. It's on the tip of my tongue. Whatever. I'll think of it later, or someone will tell me. Anyway,
Okay.
they're all like, "Get no women, no noble women in here. Get out here." Because no one believes a woman can be a painter and whatnot. And then she's the last art studio she goes to. It's like the 18th one. She's all like, "Here, I'm so desperate. You can have my hair as payment." She cuts her hair. I don't know if that's strictly an Italian thing or a Japanese thing. I think it's Japanese inspired. You know, the symbolic cutting of your hair and whatnot.
Right.
And they're like, "I don't," and then the dude's like, "I don't care about that." And then she picks up like, I think a big knife or a fancy art knife. I don't know what these are called. I'm not an art student.
An X-Acto knife.
Bigger than that. It's like, those paper cutter knives that are really big.
Oh yeah.
She picks up one of those and she's like, "If you don't like me because I'm a woman, I'll cut off my own boobs." And they're like, "Whoa, dude, calm down." And then
Like a craft knife is kind of. No, I don't.
Sure,
think
I don't
they-
know. just
I guess
some
not.
some fancy paint knife.
Some artist knife, yes.
And then some dude named Leo goes up and he's like, "Whoa, calm down there, woman. Well, what's this all about?" And then the other paint dude's like, "Whoa, Leo, you're a struggling artist too, right? Why don't you take her under your wing?" He's all like, "Oh no, what have I gotten myself into?" And then it continues. He gives her an impossible task to do. Because, he's all like, "She's a woman. She can't do it. We'll teach her the harshness of being a painter."
Okay.
Something about you got to prepare these wood panels for painting. I don't know, sand them down, prepare the whitewash and whatnot.
she's gonna go through like all like the hardships of being
Yeah.
a or whatever.
And then she does it and he's like, wow, I'm impressed.
You could actually lift things up and pick
I
and put them
can't
down.
believe you can sand boards. You must be
Manual,
the
like-
greatest painter.
I don't know. Apparently it takes a long time. 20 boards in one night. I don't know what that means, but it's a long time.
Yeah, that's a slightly different skill set than doing any form of art. But all right.
But then, yeah, she's like, I'll take you under my apprenticeship. That was cool. And then episode 2, a simp appeared. That was like my favorite episode of all time so far.
Okay.
There's this I guess he's a love interest. This handsome fellow. He helps out women. He massages his he does all the chores for the women in his house. He massages his sister's feet when they're tired.
What the fuck? Okay.
And he's all like, women are to be respected, and then people, everyone, every dude.
Wait,
that's,
is this actually in the anime?
yeah. All his friends are like, why do you help women so much? You're a man. And then he's all like, I'm just kind to women, that's all. And then when he tries to help Arte, she gets offended. Like, well, it sounds weird coming in from 2020, but
Yeah. Can I interrupt and ask you just a little? Okay. So when you have you seen the Jinketsu no Maria, like the Virgin Witch Maria?
that sounds
The
familiar.
anime?
No, I don't think I watched the anime.
Oh, fuck. Because then this talk would have been a lot easier to do. But in general, like,
There's
you know what I mean when I say sort of like the stereotypical like girl sets out to do stuff like anime or story, right?
you mean like Violet Evergarden?
No, not really. It's Violet Evergarden is slightly different, but it's like in general the storyline is just like
It's
a girl-
more. I mean, it's similar to when you were saying when he was talking about that fashion show from last season, right? Or maybe it was this season, but just with the additionals of one of the plot points being, oh, you're a woman, you can't do this, and then she's a prodigy.
yeah, it's like yeah, I guess it's like the prodigy part is not there.
Mike's fucked up.
Sorry. Can you hear me better?
We can
No.
hear you, but it's like really weird staticky.
Hopefully
What? Yeah.
It ain't fixing itself. It's literally just getting worse.
Got some scraps for me. Yeah.
But yeah, so while he fixes that,
All right. Let me continue my simp story then. So Arte gets offended. She's all like, "Why are you treating me different? I'm working hard out here just like anyone else. You don't have to help me carry this big old cart full of wood that even a man would have trouble with." And then yeah, she gets offended. The dude's like, "Oh no, what did I do?" And then apparently this episode she goes to that dude's workshop studio, and the dude's all like, you know, because for apprenticeship, when you do art stuff, you sketch other people's sculptures and whatnot to learn. So she wants to sketch that dude, that master dude's of that simp's sculpture. The dude's like, "No, get your women out of my studio," and she's all like, you know, pleading him. Then he too gives her an impossible task. This is all like,
Sounds like the opposite of a simp.
huh? No, what? No, this is
there's two
the
different people.
yeah. There's the simp, and then there's the master of that simp guy. I don't even remember his name. Oh.
Master of
The simp master.
His name's Angelo. What a simp name. Anyway, where was it? The dude's all like, "Here, carry these bags of really heavy clay that it took 2
Why is
men."
it always physical fucking labor?
Because
Well,
she's
it's
a
like-
woman.
She's a woman.
like-
That's the point.
It's like with Milan, right? Where it's like they had everybody kind of just training. It's just like that. They had just have them like picking fish out of the river, and it's like, oh, why are we doing this
But
to
yeah.
defeat the Huns? It's like, okay,
But yeah,
fuck.
she's all the dude's all like, here, pick up these bags of clay all by yourself. It takes two men to carry it, and then she's all like, dang. But she does it. Everyone's like, oh, I'm impressed by your studiousness towards the arts. You can sketch my sculpture. And then she's like, yes.
You sure studied how to lift these heavy bags.
It was pretty good. But yeah, so far it's just been a bunch of art trivia stuff. The third episode, she was that the carnival episode? I don't know. She sketched some backgrounds, and then fourth episode she sketched a portrait of this prostitute. That was neat. So yeah, I'm learning a bunch of fancy art student lore from this. Like, it takes 3 years. Apparently, being an art student's like being a master chef. Like a, what is it? A sushi craftsman takes 3 years of scrubbing.
Yeah, that's what the Italian fucking said.
3 years of doing the dirty work, and then a studio. Then another 3 years of doing backgrounds before you actually can, graduate and become a full-fledged painter yourself. So like 6-9 years of all that. Yeah, this show's pretty cool.
So can I ask again if it's just like how much of the show is just like the dramatic tension, or not dramatic tension, but it's like the sort of the focal sort of tension of the story.
You mean
which is
the
just,
struggles of women in her being
more or
a
less,
woman in?
more or less being crystallized in anime. It's usually crystallized down to like this woman wants to do X thing, right? So maybe she goes to the store, or like she's in a bar or something like that, right? And
Are you saying women can't go to stores?
maybe not in whatever this anime, but it's like they
Spy or grocery shopping is usually considered a.
I'm pretty sure shopping for groceries is a unisex
Yeah.
act.
Back in the
But what I'm
Renaissance
saying-
era,
I
I
mean,
will say.
I'm just making a general thing. Like, let's say they go to the store and they're like, I want to do this, or like whatever, right? I want to try this out. And they're like, no, that's not for women. And then, like, what I'm saying is how much of the anime is
So far, I
based
mean,
around those scenes. where
just
they're
the first
glaring at
couple,
each other.
just the first couple of episodes, because right now everyone's like, oh, okay, she's serious about this. She's not just some pampered noble woman who does art because she's bored. She's actually trying to make a living out of this. So people are taking her more seriously. She's she's a full-time apprentice now because the dude Leo is actually making her do work along with his painting. So yeah, yeah, we're past that part already. Now we're getting to the real nitty-gritty of backgrounds and portraits. Yeah.
Oh, so they're going like pretty much full into like art trivia and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that's pretty good. So, any last words?
Show's pretty cool. I like it. I didn't expect to like it. Not because it's a woman show, but this isn't really. I'm not a modern day Pixiv DeviantArt artist. Okay, this isn't my thing. I don't draw.
What?
Why did I even?
He's not on DeviantArt. The show isn't for him.
Why did I even watch the show? I went anyway. I remember I had a reason
You
to watch
picked
this.
show.
Yeah, I remember I had a
don't
reason, but I
know,
forgot why.
You wanted the show pretty bad, dude.
I
don't know
think
why
I picked.
you wanted
I
it.
think
You
I
did,
picked
though.
this because I wouldn't usually pick it. I wanted to become the wild card. This show's pretty cool. Yeah,
Really living on the edge.
Anyways, thank you.
I mean,
Toad.
it looks nice. It's good sounds. Maya Sakamoto does the opening.
Okay. That's
I
pretty
don't know.
good.
I don't have many complaints about it so far. I'm pretty invested in the story.
Okay. Anyways,
On
thank you.
Wikipedia it says there's a certain incident that overshadows her painting, but I'm not going to talk about it.
Okay.
So
Well,
I hope
anyway.
I hope they just focus on her painting because I'm rooting for her.
I mean,
Yeah,
they'll probably cover it, but as to how much it's focused, we'll have to
yeah.
see.
Good painting, slice of life. I'm
Uh,
I'm after this ends, I might be interested in reading the manga to continue it.
Okay.
I hope Angelo doesn't show up anymore. I don't like him.
All right. Thank you, Toast. And that was Arte. So check that out if you're interested. And with
Yeah.
that, we'll move on to Dark.
How's it feel to steal shows from me, Dark?
Yeah, I don't have much of a choice this season, bro.
You can watch Apareranman.
Uh, yeah, I mean, I
Yeah,
could
all-
have. I
all
might for
3
next week.
episodes that are out.
Oh,
Yeah. I mean, we cover shows with only 3 episodes or less sometimes, but hey. Yeah, I don't know, man. Not a huge selection. Plus, yeah, Ranman seems like something gonna want more than 3 for. But anywho, I watched. Not even gonna say the Japanese names. Too long. My Next Life as a Villainess. All routes lead to doom. Uh, so yeah, it's a show about a It opens up on like a noble like girl essentially, and she's like kind of a
Is she
bitch.
also a painter?
Oh, not quite. She's just like mean. But they did. I don't even think there's really even that much that covered that much in the very beginning. But it just basically opens with her being like demanding of a maid or something, and then she falls like flat on her face and gets like a bad like cut on her head and just like gets fucked up. But while she's falling and after she falls, she starts remembering her past life.
Whoa!
And her past life was of a like uh, otaku that would just play otome games. And she realizes that she's in the world of one of those games. I forget exactly what the name of the game is all the time. Like, remember, Toast, what the name of the actual otome game is?
No.
Anyway, not really important. Uh, but she gets reincarnated. She realized she got reincarnated as the antagonist of the story, and the antagonist of that story happens to pretty much die or get exiled in every single ending, like possible ending of the game.
Apparently,
So
it's
she's
Fortune Lover. Yeah.
fortune lover. Okay, yeah. So she tries to essentially mitigate that. More directly, like she tries to do very short-sighted, essentially approaches to it, which I'll get to in a little bit. But she very much focuses on that. It starts out with her as a kid, but I think like 4 episodes in, it does a time skip to her in like the game's timeline, essentially of like high school. So I thought that was fun. But basically, what winds up happening is she winds up taking the route like of more direct approaches of trying to avoid having characters have encounters or situations that like essentially would impact your run in the game. But what winds up happening more so is that she indirectly like changes that character entirely, even from like their childhood interactions.
Right, like
So
like the entire story changes.
yeah, so basically, like what's happened so far is just she's made friends with like all these characters that she should not like the villainess, as far as I know, it's like she wasn't not friends with them or not acquainted with them, but she wasn't really like friends with them, right? Like
Yeah.
they weren't good people in general. But essentially, like that's sort of what's happened. She's made an entire like cast of characters that in the game really shouldn't be involved with each other, as at least not directly as they are. And she kind of becomes the center point of the story in that sense, with everyone having both a simultaneous harem and reverse harem at the same time. She's just that
Wait,
popular.
Essentially,
would
Yeah.
this be?
essentially,
Literally every character in this show has fallen for her at this point.
That's pretty
Well,
good.
what happens is you got to give some examples here. Like the elder what's his name? The elder prince guy? Yeah. Cuz Katarina's fiance is the prince guy, right?
Yeah, Gerald, you mean?
Yeah,
Gerald
sure.
Stewart?
And then you got the
Yeah.
older prince guy. There's this thing where the protagonist, the heroine, does this thing that makes the prince fall in love with him. But then Katarina ends up doing it in her way instead, and then the dude's like, "Oh, you're pretty cool, yeah."
Yeah,
You
so
gotta explain it, Dark.
she winds
Give an
up
example.
she winds up accidentally stealing like events from them because she's played the game, so she just inadvertently like says lines or like does things that the either like princes should have done or should have said or should have had happen to them, and so she inadvertently like cuts off everyone's like love events or like chances essentially, and kind of I guess fills the role almost of the main character of the story at this point. But I would say the more major thing is just that even from like childhood she winds up befriending all these characters that shouldn't essentially have friends, right? Like her fiance shouldn't like her. Her brother shouldn't like, or well, her like adopted brother shouldn't like her at all. And so there's just basically things like that. And the show hasn't. What I found interesting is the show really doesn't. Like the show acknowledges that, but the character is still ignorant to that, right? Like she still thinks like, oh shit, like that's a doom flag. Like I can't have any of
She'll
these
use
actions happen.
gamer words, gamer
Yeah.
language.
Well, because she'll just be like, oh wait, this character like said this thing, or like this thing happened. Wait a minute. If like any of these characters fall in love with the like protagonist Maria, then I'm screwed. But what she's not like, grasping is that it's like, well, you're also like not a piece of shit and you haven't like made enemies of everyone around you. Like it's the game, like it's so deviated from what the game was supposedly that it's like impossible for any of these things to like lead to exile or death at this point. So I think that that's kind of interesting that like they're deciding to keep her totally ignorant to it. I'm also not going to spoil anything else on the sense of something else very interesting happens with another character as well. Which
I haven't been caught up. How far is the anime right now? Like, what's the major event?
episode 6. The major event right now was they did oh no, maybe it was episode 7, and they did like a boat race thing. And it kind of becomes established that like, yeah, pretty much every character in this, like male and female, are falling for her.
Yeah. Okay. I know where you are.
But she's also trying to set them up like inversely too, because it's like the characters who aren't really like I'd say the two main interests right now is, well, there's the Asgard siblings, Sophia and Nicole, and like they're both kind of love interests. And then there's her like adopted brother Keith, and then there's her fiance. And those are essentially like the four, because the other four characters are engaged to each other already as well, so they're like not super like involved essentially in that sense. But yeah, I think the setup's pretty interesting of how they've done it so far, especially starting from like the childhood stuff and not just her turning around as like a teenager essentially.
Right. So this is
This is
it
the
might
beginning
sound
wave, Spire.
sorry. I might sound a little bit shallow saying this, but I mean, I appreciate the fact that like the focus of this sort of isekai, right? This general isekai genre, right? I think ultimately in this case is general enough so that it can kind of serve as a representative for this genre, right? And that the she wakes up as the MC, the main character wakes up as the villainess, and she has to kind of unfuck her life, right? Essentially. And I like how in this genre that the focus is a lot more on like kind of weaving through the story, right? Like it's focused on like again unfucking the story and less like oh I'm gonna get the harem or I'm gonna be super powerful or whatever the fuck, right? Which is really nice. But in terms of like how these sorts of relationships go and how she kind of starts interacting with these people, right? Outside of like the main sort of like the storyline, right? Do you think it's more or less the same as what we maybe see in some variants of the the academy or like the battle academy harem genre where it's like at first everybody's kind of just like who is this main character? He's a fucking scrub, or he sucks, he's a loner, blah blah blah. And then eventually he wins over the girls one by one kind of thing, right? Do you
I
think
mean, not.
yeah?
I would say the way I would describe this series is like perfect end like porn, right? Because you have the setup being
That
this
is in a
game there.
sense
It's
like a
like
power fantasy in itself,
yeah,
right? In
because
a
you're
sense.
like, oh man, all these characters like something happens in this game to them.
Hmm.
But then you have this person who played this game like rigorously and is like, I know everything about it. I need to
Right,
change my ending. But
right,
inadvertently now has created essentially the perfect scenario for every single character involved.
right. It is the true end.
Yeah, it's like this is the final end. Like this is the best possible outcome we could get for
Hmm.
everyone involved.
Right, exactly.
Um, so I'd say it's more of that in a way of just like, how do we perfect this? Like, how do we perfect these relationships essentially? But I don't think it's so much more of like, oh, who's this person, right? Like there was a little bit of that when they were like kids,
Hmm.
right? Because before like they were establishing, Katarina was like just really distant and like an asshole to Keith. But like obviously like, those events, that stuff still happened. Um, before she like turned into the villain, like woke up and realized her past life or whatever.
Right, right, exactly.
Um, so like those things still happened. So it was a little bit more of like her getting through, um, like those aspects of like the pre-established relationship, and
Hmm.
that was kind of like getting like befriending Keith, like re-befriending Keith, and just essentially not acting like the villainous character long enough to essentially convince everyone, not convince everyone otherwise, but you know what I mean, like not have like those relationships anymore, like pretty much divert from the game for long enough.
Right, 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 right.
I would say that's like kind of where it had like people not really understanding like, oh, who's this character and shit like that.
Right.
Um, and that was more of like each episode, like 1 through 4, was like, all right, like here's these characters. Like these characters don't know her, don't really know anything about her. Like, how is she gonna befriend them?
Hmm.
And just like pretty much make like the game scenario impossible.
Right, right, right. So, and again, I fully realize that I'm being, uh, I both come across, and I'm probably thinking in a much more sort of shallow sense. But in terms of like, I don't mind reading these sorts of like ultimate game genres, and again, going through and kind of seeing how she gets to like the perfect end, and having everybody kind of uh, everybody kind of follow her like she's some sort of like snake charmer, right? But other than the fact that this is a girl in an otome game, and it's like an interesting like sort of like gender inversion, right? I'm not entirely sure of what, other than I guess again the whole like trying to find the true end, right? I'm not sure of what the extra value is of reading an otome game isekai over a standard harem isekai, if that makes sense.
Do you just hate
Or
women's
is
fire?
it mainly mainly the story? Is what I'm.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it's like it depends on what you want out of it, right? Because this like the harem essentially like the relationship shit even by like episode 7, like it really doesn't matter, right?
Right.
Like there's some stuff there, but it's even less than like what a harem has. It's even less than what like an actual, Fujo or reverse harem
They're more
show would
just like
have.
background kind of stuff.
Yeah, it's more like I would say the focus is more of the idea that like, this was a game, these are these characters, but like what's happening should not be happening, right?
Right. Like it's
And
kind of like Matrix kind of shit, right? It's it's
yeah,
like
it's a lot of
something's weird happening, right?
yeah, it's a lot of her being like, since she's aware and now she's like this, chaotic element essentially in what should have been a story. It's more of that balance, I would say. It's a lot more of them having these events, her being like, "Oh shit, these events happened," or trying to like resolve something, but not really understanding how much things have changed at that point, right?
Right. Right. So a lot of
So
the
I would
enjoyment
say
is yeah.
it's a lot of the enjoyment is from that more so
Right.
than it is from her actually like
Trying
interacting
to
with a lot
live,
of these
yeah, trying to
characters.
interact with the game and living in the isekai, right? It's less,
Yeah,
yeah.
I will say there is a little bit more to one of the characters in particular. I'm not going to get into too many details because I thought it was a nice touch, but if they go even further with that at any point, that's going to be really interesting to see.
Okay.
So I'm not sure they will go any further with that. Just
Okay.
on virtue of like that would be would be very interesting. Would also be extremely difficult to fully pull off. So it might just be a nice touch, or they could be doing something like really kind of crazy here. So
Okay.
we'll see.
Spy-
I might tell you off podcast, but I'm not going to say on podcast just because yeah.
But yeah.
I mean, they give a lot of the characters, like pretty much the entire cast gets constant screen time, right? Like there's no there's no character that doesn't really lack in screen time at this point. Like Maria took a long time to get there, but they don't really hold back in um they also don't hold back in like these characters actually being people in the sense that like you know uh like for Maria, she visits her house to like say hi one day unexpectedly,
Mhm.
and Maria's the old like the protagonist the and no yeah the protagonist from the game originally, but
Mhm.
she really didn't get backstory or anything in the game and shit, and it's like she gets that now while she's living this, right? Like she gets to learn about her family, like what happened to her parents, what happened to her as like a kid and shit like that. So I thought that was pretty interesting too, that they're not shying away from showing essentially like the expanded like families of these people and
Mhm.
like the expanded sort of like like what essentially like how they lived, and they're not actually just being treated like game characters at this point.
Right. Okay. I guess yeah. That definitely answers my question.
why do you hate Katarina Spire? Do you
I
really
just hate all women. Yeah.
do you
Sorry.
really like the banishment arcs better than this?
Well, I don't know about that, but anyways, Dark. Any last words on the series?
Yeah, just to wrap up, I would say audiovisual is pretty solid.
Can you see
Made
why
by Silver
everyone
Lake, so you know.
can you see why everyone was excited about this one?
I mean,
I can
I
see why
didn't.
people are excited. I definitely can see why people are excited. I think it's better than like what seems to be giving it credit for on some websites, mall. But because I think audiovisuals wise, it's pretty solid. Comedy wise, it's pretty good. Sort of like the transition for like the comedy bits is pretty good. The internal like monologues, there's a couple of things that are like callbacks and whatnot that I thought were done very well. I think there's a lot done really, really solid with this series, just from a sort of like directing standpoint, audiovisual standpoint, and pacing. So I think it's a good series.
Okay, okay, pretty
And if you
good.
like to see people just like fucking turn things around, like essentially be like, hey, I'm gonna get like literally the perfect ending, you know?
Hmm.
I think this is something you should check out because that's all this really is.
Right, right, right. Okay. Well, thank you,
How
Dark, for
how
helping.
do you feel about her magic, Dark? I think her magic's pretty neat.
She hasn't really done anything with it. She created a hill in one episode, a little little hill. Not even a
Yeah.
little hill. She created a little bump in the ground.
Yeah.
But
Anyways,
yeah, I would say I would compare. You know what? I'll compare this to the final ending, ending E of Nier Automata. If you like the ending E of Nier Automata, you might
What?
get a kick out of this show. Think about it, Nier. Think about it.
No.
Yeah,
he's thinking
man.
about it.
Think about it. The perfect end against all
Jesus.
odds.
Nah.
Yeah.
Anyways, thank you, Dark, for helping cover My Next Life as Villainess, All Routes Lead to Doom, also known in Japanese as 乙女ゲーの破滅フラグしかない悪役令状に転生してしまった also known as Hamefura, the acronym. So please check that out. This is like one of the big sort of, you know, I guess representatives almost of this line of, light novels, web novels that have been coming out recently. So please do check that out. And next is me, I guess. I'll just be going quickly over something called Shacho, Battleru no jikan desu, or President, it's time for battle. Also abbreviated to Shachibato in Japanese. Light novel original. It was turned into various, other stuff, manga, game, and now an anime television series under C2C. C2C known for doing sort of, smaller stuff before, like Your Mates, One-chan ga Kita. They did, what is it? Actually, they did one of the big things. They did Suka Suka, which Shimatsu Nani Shitemasu ka, or World End, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So that's one of their bigger things. They also did, what is it, Hitoribochi no Marumaru Seikatsu. So again, they have, the audiovisual stuff on lock, and they also, I believe, hired, as some of you might be able to notice from the like the way the eyes are drawn in the artwork for the anime. They hired Tsukasa Fushimi, or Fushimi Tsukasa, who is infamous or famous, whatever, for being the
Hold on, let me guess.
uh,
Let me guess.
sorry, no, not Fushimi Tsukasa, Kanzaki Hiro, excuse me, Kanzaki Hiro, who is infamous for being the artist behind Ore no Imoto, or Oreimo, right?
What's that? I only know that person as the artist of Himemori Luna.
Well, he's drawn a lot of stuff, but yeah. Anyways, this is Shachibato. Yeah. So POS is the person on the right a guy or a girl? It's actually a guy. He just has like a ponytail and he's supposed to look really like androgynous for some reason. He's
What's
also
wrong with ponytails?
there's nothing wrong with ponytails. It's just
Unless
they
you're a guy.
Yeah.
Kenshin has a ponytail,
Yeah.
and he was based off a woman. What's your point?
Yeah, but he also has a big dick sword. But
Kenshin has a ponytail and he was based off a woman. What's your point? I think you made it.
Are you hating on women again, Spire?
Sorry, yeah.
When
My,
it is
my just
hate.
my just innate hatred of women popping up all the time. But he's also voiced by Horie Shun, who is
A woman? No.
no. Yeah, I was
I'm
about to
not.
say he
No,
has
that-
a very feminine voice.
that's Hore Yui. Whoops.
Yeah.
Wait, are they married?
No. They're
Oh.
not even related, I think. So Horie Shun has a relatively sort of much more boyish, feminine voice. So that's sort of voicing them, and this series. How do I say this? It's like so I've seen a couple of mobile game series that's like how it's like mobile games anime adaptations kind of go in one of two ways, right? It's like some of them like kind of expound on the story, right? Like for instance, FGO anime I believe does that, right? So they already have the story and they adapt it, right? Not too difficult, right? And the other kind of series either just has random like main characters or like stuff that's like not from the the main sort of lore, and then they kind of just throw them into the world and then they do stuff. So it's like this weird thing where Shachibato like has a main character and he's thrown into the game or the general lore or whatever, right?
So it's like Princess Connect?
Yes, well, except like all they do again is just like go out and do the hunting, the monster hunting, right? And that's literally all this anime is. They just have episodes upon episodes of just random monster hunting, and it's just like okay, and everything is very emphasis that this is like a game, sort of like they don't say it right, but it's like you have to kill this to get the loot, and then here's the tutorial. Like they literally have the main character watch a tutorial in the first episode. It's very
Some kind of
like
game or something?
Hey man,
yeah, I know.
Princess Connect also had a tutorial episode with
It's
the
very
tutorial elven chick. She did everything.
yeah. They literally showed them like a video, or they showed the main
Oh,
character like a
okay.
video on like on, like how things go and stuff like that. And then it after that, it's literally just episode upon episode of them just going and looting, or not even looting, just like monster hunting stuff like that. It's very I don't know.
How's it compared to Princess Connect? Let's start there. Is it better or worse? Because Princess Connect's pretty good.
I would say it's slightly worse because at least with Princess Connect, you kind of I don't know. Princess Connect probably has a little bit more
A little.
coherence. Yeah, I don't know how to describe it. It has a little bit more like, oh, like I know what to look at, or I know like sort of, hey, these characters are kind of doing something, and then I'm kind of, interested in that. Whereas Shachibato doesn't even have like really like for me at least like name recognition or anything like that. Where it's like I'm just thrown in here, and then they're just doing monster hunting. I'm just like, oh, okay, like sure. It's not like I don't see monster hunting in other anime or even in other light novel or other things that have this sort of thing, and I don't know. Uh, I'm I know I'm being a little bit hypocritical here because it's like I'm a big fan of like slow life, you know, episodic do whatever. Like I'm fine with that sort of thing, right? But I don't like it when it's literally just episode after episode of the exact same thing. You know what I mean? If it's just monster hunting day after day, or if it's just farming day after day. Like I'm not a big fan of that. So it kind of like me watching this, I'm just like, oh, okay, well they're hunting. All right, next episode they're in the dungeon again. All right, they did some. Okay, blah blah blah. And this is different from say like Dungeon Meshi, right? Whereas like Dungeon Meshi is like very like the episodes are very centered around like setting up the comedy, doing blah blah blah. So it doesn't feel as boring. But in this anime, it's just like, oh yeah, we're just hunting the monsters. Okay, well that's it. And then it's like, oh, you hunted the monsters better this time, Shacho or President. And it's like, oh okay, well I guess he's getting better. Shrugs.
It's getting
Uh,
EXP, dude.
yeah, he's leveling up, or he's getting extra stars or whatever it is, and it's like I don't like that. I don't like it when they're doing exactly the same thing over and over again.
But it's just like my JRPG, man.
But and like I don't know, they're not even like I don't even mind necessarily like a story that doesn't go towards like a final end, right? Because not every anime should have like a demon king at the end or some sort of like, oh, I need to beat my sister at the Mahjong national tournament kind of thing, right? It doesn't need to have necessarily a final objective, right? Especially if it's 12 episodes. Again, what I'm saying is just please don't do the same thing over and over. And this anime clearly does the same thing over and over and over and over and over again. And it's very kind of depressing. I don't really have too much to say about this. It's just I almost think this is pretty much just to sell the game. I guess pretty much this is pretty much to sell the game. Yeah, this is pretty much just to sell the game, and I don't. It's not very fun. It's still like the least fun like game adaptation I've seen in my life, and I've watched all the Idol adaptation stuff. So it's very I find it kind of obnoxious. That's pretty much all I had to say about it. To be honest, the only redeeming feature is like the Oreimo art, but that's about it. But yeah, that was Shachibato or Shacho Battle no Jikan desu.
Sounds like
Or-
you should just watch not Niji Sanji. Well, Princess Connect instead.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not like I don't.
How's the fight scenes? Let me make
The
that
fight
first
scenes aren't good either. They're just like it's like you know how it's stuff like like regular isekai like Konosuba and stuff like that. They have like these sorts of uh they have like bursts of scenes where they're like boom like spell or cut blah blah. But like a lot of the other times it's like kind of comedic, right? It's like they like throw random shit and then they're kind of like doing like the whole like Marvel like like making jokes at each other and being like, oh, you fight like a whip or stuff like that, right? There's a lot of that.
You fight like a girl. Ah,
Yeah.
I see
But
where you're
anyway.
going, Spire.
Yeah, I remember when Thanos said that, and that was pretty fucking crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you fight like a stupid bitch.
Yeah.
And then he got beat up because
Yeah.
she's the most powerful in the MCU.
Yes.
And she
All.
flew off into fucking space.
But yeah, that's pretty much all I had to say about this series. Don't watch it; it's not very good. As Toast said, if you do want to watch a game adaptation, I guess for this season, watch Princess Connect. I don't know what else to say. But yeah,
I mean, the way you described it, I was just thinking of the most cursed shit ever, and I was like,
but
man, can't wait for Grand Blue Season 3, the
oh my
Arcarum
god,
route.
please don't.
An entire season where they're just going through Arcarum. Well,
Jesus. Anyways, that's pretty much all I had, and with that, we are down to one. What do you have for here?
I have Yesterday wo Utatte, or
Uh,
localized
yes.
to Sing Yesterday for Me.
That art looks
Um,
familiar.
this show sucked.
I don't know.
Oh shit.
I can't tell.
That's an improvement. Oh,
Yeah. So Yesterday wo Utatte is a slice of life romance drama series done by Doga Kobo. It's a manga original. Um, it is apparently 18 episodes, which I found interesting.
It's the series that Dogakobo is actually putting money into.
Yeah,
season.
yeah, you can tell too. I think I like it. I think. Have you watched this, Spire?
I you hurt me because I unfortunately it's all my fault, but I have not yet. Again, I've read a little
Yeah,
bit
it
more
sounds a
into it.
lot like your fault, pal.
Yeah, I've read more of the manga, which is really weird, but I haven't watched the anime yet.
Uh-huh.
Motherfucking. Anyways, keep going.
Yeah, this is an interesting series. So, basic premise is the main character, Uzomi Rikuo. He has graduated from college, and he has no ambitions. He doesn't really know where he wants to go in life, so he's kind of just
Wow.
working part-time
Sound,
in
sounds like the
convenience
current
store.
situation.
Yeah,
Sounds like me.
resonates with a lot of people right now, I'm sure. But he meets this girl named Nonaka Haru, who has a pet crow, and she's wacky and weird. You know, and then
Also
like
me.
other stuff happens, and then he meets a former acquaintance of his, Morinome Shinako, which was one of his fellow classmates in college and his crush. Um, and it pretty quickly sets up that there's a love triangle going on. Haru likes Rikuo, Rikuo likes Shinako. But in the first episode, actually, Rikuo confesses to Shinako, and she's like, "No." Um,
Sorry, bro.
yeah, and it sets up this pretty interesting dynamic, pretty early on, where Shinako is uh, basically she says she's in love with somebody else. Um, and
Damn.
later on
Friend zoned again.
in the second episode, it's revealed that the person she's in love with died 6 years ago. And she basically just hasn't moved on from that.
Right.
And it's a pretty interesting dynamic because normally, when you set up a typical love triangle in a series, it's like you have the quote unquote like main girl, right? And then there's the male main character. And then the male main character wants the main girl, but the main girl is either a drooling retard or she's just not interested. And then there's like the side girl who wants the main character, but the main character is also a drooling retard and he can't realize it, right?
Right.
But this series isn't like that. It sets up the love triangle in a pretty typical fashion, but then it kind of like uh, breaks it down into a very interesting dynamic, I think, where Shinako, which is sort of initially set up as like the main girl, is kind of given the role as almost this like grieving widow, right? Where the main character
Right.
kind of isn't really sure what he should like how he should really be approaching
Or whether he
this-
should be approaching.
yeah, the situation with her. Um and then the girl that's typically designated as like a side character, right? The other girl, Haru, is sort of propped up as like um she's interested in the main character, but she doesn't want to be seen as basically a backup, right?
Right.
She wants to be seen like she doesn't want
She wants to be
uh
like on her own sort of value.
yeah, she doesn't want Uriko to be like settling for her. She
Right.
wants
Right.
him to see her as like who she is, right?
Right.
Um and there's a line in the first episode, I think, um where I think it's probably more important to this series than just like the show kind of like the show doesn't really emphasize the line at all, but I feel like really it's a pretty good line, right? Where the main character, he, he doesn't really. They're doing some like graduation like, meetup thing. And he's like, it's only been 6 months. Like, people don't change that fast, right?
Right. Right.
And I think that's a pretty important line for this series because this is a very slow series, right? Um, like it sets up the premise fairly quickly, and then it kind of breaks it down fairly quickly. But after that, it kind of doesn't really move at the pace you would normally expect a slice of life romance drama type of deal to
Mhm.
move at, right?
Mhm.
Um, it sort of kind of just goes through day to day life, right? Where Haru kind of shows up at Riko's workplace pretty much every day, and being like, "Hey, if you couldn't tell, I like you, by the way." And he's like, yeah, I mean, I get it, but I don't really know where I am right now, and I don't really know if I want to do this kind of thing, right? And so they kind of just go along with this, and drama stuff happens, and they kind of deal with it. But I feel like it's written in a way that's pretty mature, for anime standards. People aren't screaming at each other and yelling at each other, and there's no like outbursts of crying and emotion just to move plot along.
Right.
It's very
pretty unrealistic.
yeah. It
But
is
that obviously also makes it much slower, right? In a sense,
yeah.
which is what
It's a
some people
much
are saying in chat. Yeah.
it's a much slower series. Um, and I kind of like that, but at the same time, I kind of don't, right? Because the pace you're usually used to in a romance series, like you're used to it, right?
Right.
You kind of expect that, and when the series kind of presents these situations where, um, normally you would expect characters to kind of just say something, and then the typical reaction is an emotional scene, and the plot moves forward. Um, these characters kind of just go, okay, I don't really know how to unpack that right now. Like, can we talk about this later?
Mm-hmm.
And then they kind of just move on, right? Which is a very normal thing to do, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, and it's a pretty interesting thing to see in an anime. Um, the one thing that I'm a little iffy on is kind of the way the episodes are structured after like episode 2,
What do you mean?
because it kind of goes into this weird thing where it starts bringing in these other characters for like one episode at a time.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the most apparent one would be was episode 5. It brings in this character named Minato, who is a former acquaintance of Haru, the girl with the pet crow. Um, and basically the whole shtick is like Minato had a crush on Haru in high school, right?
Right.
And like he starts kind of hanging out with her, um, and then Riko gets kind of jealous, right? And then the whole thing is like why am I even jealous? Like I don't even know if I care about this girl or not right now,
Right.
right?
Exactly.
Um, but then at the end of the episode, Minato goes like, he like confesses to Haru, right? Uh, and she's like, you know, I appreciate that, right? And she talks about how like why she doesn't really know why she likes or she's in love with Riko right now, especially because like as the episode goes on, they're kind of having squabbles and stuff, right? But she's like, I feel like if I don't stick with this, I'll probably just regret it. So sorry,
Right.
but I have to reject you, right? And then Minato's like, okay, that's fine. Like, I just wanted to confess because, again, if I didn't, I would have regretted it for like the rest of my life, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then he's kind of just gone, right? Um, and I'm not too
Yeah, he's
sure.
got no regrets.
Yeah, I'm not too sure if I really like. I can see why they're doing it, right? Like they bring in an outside force to sort of get the characters to react and emote to something else, right?
Mm-hmm.
Similarly to like the way I guess Violet Evergarden kind of puts Violet into outside like alien situations in order to get her to react as a
Yeah.
character
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
develop, right?
Yeah. Exactly.
But it's in a slightly different context. Um, I'm not too sure how I feel about it, especially because this series is, again, it's a very slow-paced series. I don't know if you really need to be bringing in like separate characters every episode to be like, hey, you
Gotta
guys should
talk about.
probably react to this, right?
I was gonna
Um,
say that sounds kind of strange for something that you introduce as being a pretty like organic almost
I mean,
experience in that
it is
sense.
Well,
it is a very organic thing. Like they
it's
don't.
one of the Well, I think 1 year is thing. It's like
But
again.
not.
Well,
I mean,
yeah.
just more of like not having that character anymore. Just like having a character very blatantly come in for one episode and leave just kind of seems.
Yeah.
Seems a little
I
weird.
mean, they write it in a way where it makes sense, right? Like he was only there for this one-time thing or whatever, right? But like the way it's structured is, I'm not sure if this series really needs something like that, but it's not like it's unwelcome. You know what I mean?
Right. I mean, it's definitely. I think what you're talking about, that is having the third party people come in and keep sort of, in a sense, poking the circle, right? Is one of the major sort of, I don't want to say foolproof, but the trusty old way to have still a main cast that's still much more on the slower slice of life, organic side, right? Because the cast can't just be that bipolar, right? If they're to be
Yeah.
organic, they can't just be like, one day it's like, oh, I misunderstood you, fuck off. Like, they can't do that, right? But obviously, since the anime can't be 50 million episodes, we need to have people from the outside constantly kind of poking them, right? Like some animals in a zoo cage kind of thing.
Yeah.
Animals in a cage, yeah. But so I do see where you're coming from, and I also see kind of, or we can all see kind of why that structure is. So.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I do like the series.
Can I ask you something? Do you think this might seem like a very strangely worded question, but it's not? Do you think you'll like what will happen when the anime ends? This is
I
yeah.
don't
See,
know about that
yeah.
because then
See,
that's the
exactly.
thing, right? That's the problem with like romance anime that's based on like a, a manga, especially, right? Because this is manga original.
Right.
Like if
Oh, is
this
this like
was,
still ongoing or like just very long?
I mean, I don't know, but I would assume this is probably a decently long running series. But like if this was based on like a visual novel, right?
Mm-hmm.
I would feel pretty confident that at the end of episode 18, there's going to be a resolution that has like a decent amount of closure, right? Um, but typically with, I find manga adaptations that are like romance, slice of life, especially love triangle stuff,
Mm-hmm.
there's very rarely a like really solid conclusion. Um, I'm not super confident in this one, but like I have hope, right? I feel
Yeah,
like
we all hope.
what's presented is done solidly. It seems well written. It's decently paced. I would hope Doga Kobo is smart enough to at least leave off on a note that isn't like, please read the manga,
But the thing is,
Um,
I mean, it's 12 episodes, right? It's 12
it's
episodes, not 24.
18.
It's 8. That's so weird. Oh no.
It's very
Well, there's
strange.
probably.
Why 18?
I mean, if it's
I don't
not
know.
going to cover all of the content, I mean, there's definitely a way, like especially with a love triangle series, to leave off on a note that's like at least hinting at where the true ending of the series will go.
I
Assuming
also
it's
think
over.
that in this day and age, like, we can almost be like, not that it's great, but it's okay for the anime to kind of end on a note that's a bit more just like, yeah, this is the end of like the initial sort of set of developments. Go read the anime, or sorry, go read the manga, because it's like, at this point, like, everybody should know that if the anime is not like Naruto, it's going to end within 24 episodes, right?
Yeah.
And so if there's an anime viewer out there, watcher out there, right? Let's say, an unsuspecting Crunchyroll, anime fan, right? And they're like, why this anime end like this? They're just like watching some super slow slice of life, and it, like, let's say, like, it ended in like 12 episodes. And they're like, why did it end like this? I think it's a little bit more on them than it is on the anime. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's also-
now this isn't like certainly isn't the greatest comparison I could make. Well, I don't know. I mean, it's a pretty decent one, but I would say what I would like to see in shows like that then would be an ending almost like it's not indicative of what it is, but like I said, the ending of Baka Test, the anime, right?
Mhm. Oh yeah,
Just
yeah,
because like
yeah.
the Baka Test anime ends with an actual relationship forming between the MC and I forget the fuck is her name, the tomboy like ish childhood friend, the redhead, not the pink haired one. Regardless, yeah. Spoiler alert. It ends with them being
Minami,
together.
right?
Yeah, yeah. I think so. It ends
Yeah.
with him getting together with Minami and the quote unquote like main ish girl being like, well, I'm not gonna give up. Like, this doesn't mean I'm giving up.
Right.
But it ends with them essentially being in a solid relationship. Now, what I would say is the endings like that I would like to see in shows then would be almost something like that or something more hinting like that if that was the true ending of the series of them being together, right?
I
Like
mean,
regardless of what other shenanigans happen later on in the series, I think at least having a more definitive like ending where if you didn't read further, you could be like, okay, like I'm at least all right with what happened here. Like I don't really need that much more, you know?
Mhm.
I'm not. I'm not gonna lie. Like for yesterday with Tate, at least, like I don't even really need to watch more to know which girl is gonna end up as the winner here,
Well, at
because
this
one
point, we're
has like 70% more screen time. But um,
So this guy says, but this guy also fucking,
hey,
watched.
Nira, have you ever read ReZero?
Yeah, like
Sometimes
you ever
the main
seen
character isn't
ReZero,
the main
buddy?
character.
sometimes series are bad. Yes, correct. Um, but no,
Yeah, and
like
you said you were still up in the air about this one.
I mean, I am. I am. You know, I mean, I'm always up in the air with any love triangle series, right? Because the author can sometimes just have an aneurysm and be like, "Yeah, but what if everyone was like hated each other and the ending was shit?" It's like, why? You know, like sometimes love triangle stuff just turns out really bad. Um, but this one is solid so far. Um, I'm pretty sure I can say with a decent amount of confidence that Haru's probably going to win because she's like almost always on screen. She's the one that has like the most introspection in this series. Uh, but on the other hand, Shiniko's voiced by Kana Hanazawa, so who knows, right?
Who knows?
Damn,
Um,
dude. That's meta. You can't bring in fucking meta knowledge, dude. Come on
yeah,
now. That's against the rules.
You
but
can't you, you can't say their name. You have to say, "Oh, is that the same voice who did XYZ characters?"
bro,
That's
no,
how all the YouTube comments are. Like, wait, am I hearing the voice of like they're hearing like God's voice from above?
Hana
could it
Hanazawa, am I
be?
hearing the voice of Aaron Yeager?
Yeah. Oh my
Um,
god. Anyways, keep going.
but yeah, I don't know. This series seems pretty solid. Like, again, like you were saying earlier, you can really tell this is the series that Dokukobo is like really, really focusing on. Um, the art style in the show is really nice. The lines are done extremely well. Um, characters have a lot of motion when they're talking. I was surprised by that actually. They move
There is a
quite
lot
a
of
bit.
frames. There
Um,
are many frames, which is again surprising. Again, as you said, sort of because it is. Well, I mean, I'm not that surprised because it is Dogokobo. It's not like they're not a bad studio, right? But they
yeah,
haven't
but I mean,
shown that much, right?
yeah, Dokukobo is not really a studio that's known for like natural fluid movement in like casual conversation,
Yeah,
right?
they've shit out a lot of like openings, right? Like for instance in Wada 10 or like
Yeah.
what is it, Engage to the Identify, which is which is Mikakunin de Shinkoki, right? They've like
Yeah.
had like a lot of those like frames in the openings, but they've never, as you said, put it in the anime a lot.
Another interesting note that I have for this series is that this series has no opening.
Wow,
Which
that
Do you think they'll
that's
have
really
an
deep.
opening? Do you think they'll have a singing opening with the credits while
at
the
like the
anime is
final
rolling?
episode,
Yes.
I think that's very possible.
Okay.
But I do like the idea of like no OP, right? Because it really kind of sets it really keeps the tone like consistent, right?
Right.
Because an OP can really, it sets the tone for a series, right?
Right.
But when you have a series that is very down to earth,
And it's just like
very
there. Boom.
yeah, very real life, right?
Yeah.
And the series is kind of just like it just plays, right? There's a title card every episode, but that's it. It's a really nice touch. It's just like a small thing, right? But something I found pretty interesting.
Mhm.
But yeah, I mean, this show's good. It's got money behind it. It's got voice actors behind it. Like I said, Kana Hanazawa, Kato Emery or Kitamara Emery, sorry,
Mhm.
is one of the side characters. The main character, voiced by my man, Chikihito Kobayashi. Ono Yuki's in here. Um, there's some big name voice actors, some good, very talented voice actors. It looks nice. You know, it's a solid series. I think it's as of right now, it's probably the best series of the season for me. We'll see how it turns out later on because again, romance series are very touchy, right? um, but yeah, I do really like this series. For me, the first few episodes felt very much kind of like this might sound kind of weird, but it really kind of felt like the initial like I guess prologue of um like a romance visual novel that only has like two uh female main characters, like
Yeah.
two very distinct routes, right?
Here they are.
Yeah.
You better pick one of them.
The series really feels like that. It really sets up like these two extremely different female leads. It sets the main character between them, and it just sets all the characters up in a very very like real manner. It's not like some shit where like, oh, this one girl is my high school crush, but this other girl's my sister. What do I do? You know, um,
And you're
it's
like, all right, can we scroll through like 8
yeah.
episodes and then get to the whatever? Yeah, yeah, exactly.
But yeah, I like this series. It's not quite what I was expecting when I was reading the synopsis and we were doing previews, but I like it. It's solid. I would recommend it.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, or at the very least, I would chip in. If you guys, you know, maybe are not sure about this, or maybe you want to kind of like skim through at a little bit faster pace, you guys could also just check out the manga, right? That's always the option because it's the original material, and you don't have the fear of like, oh, it's what's going to happen at episode 18, right? So
Yeah.
it's always a good option.
Well,
But yeah,
you know what? See you in 6 weeks to a year and a half, depending on delays.
I
And
haven't taken
you
my
can tell.
SATs yet. Sorry, I can't read. But
Yeah, you brought up reading.
I don't think so.
Sorry, pal. I'm out.
Anyways, thank you so much, Nier, for helping to cover yesterday Utatte, Utatte, or Sing Yesterday for me. So definitely, I would say one of the bigger like non sort of like mainstream brand series, right? I would say probably top two, top three in terms of like name recognition out there for this season. So we definitely need to cover that. It is a little bit unfortunate that we couldn't cover Appare Ramnan or anything like that in time, but at least we
Yeah,
covered
well, that series is fucking dead.
it. Hey man, Japan just Japan Well, we'll see.
Japan
Anyway,
is dead.
yeah, Japan is. It's like pandemic. It's like Japan is dead. Everybody just it's collapsed. But yeah.
Some
Anyways,
kind of pandemic or something?
yeah. Anyways, thank you, Nier. And with this, we will move on to the news. So, in the news these past 2 weeks, there hasn't been that much. There are some pretty important pieces of news, but not a lot of them. So we'll just go through that. I will not cover again, any sort of incidents or delays or anything that related to the current, situation, global events going on, because there's just too many of them. And the general idea is they're all been delayed or canceled or whatever. So that's pretty much about it. Anyways, first piece of news, a general sort of idea of the economy. We've done this every once in a while, but it's actually been quite a while since we talked about this. But the Association of Japanese Animations, or AJA, published on April 30th an English summary of its quote-unquote Anime Industry Report 2019 document that examines industry trends from 2018. The AJA published the Japanese version of this document last December, with the overall value of the anime market and the growth of the overall seas market revealed at that time. So the general summary says that the internet distribution market for anime overtook the home video market in Japan for the first time since the survey on internet distribution started 16 years ago. So they kept going through. The market keeps going through 10, 11, 12% increases from previous years, whereas the home video market keeps going down to like 10, 15, 20%.
I
So
wonder why.
yeah, definitely internet. Is here to the market at least is here to stay. And what's going to be bigger is not just the anime market, but as we've seen, the digitalization, right, of manga, of light novels, of web, or of other sort of novelty goods, right, novelty media. And I think especially in this time of the pandemic is going to be the timeline is going to be sped up, right? Because more people are just going to be forced to to put things up digitally, right? Because they
Yeah.
can't print stuff out of the factory. So it's a very, very interesting time because we're both at a transition point, and we're at a time where the transition point is being purposefully sped up. So it's very interesting. So we'll see how this goes. Whether we'll be entering like a sort of hyper, we'll be kind of shooting out of the bottleneck, right? So yeah. Uh, let me cover this other piece of news before we go into the big thing. No. We're gonna be covering another piece of news. Give me a second here. The Japanese government announced on Thursday that it will lift the state of emergency early in 39 of the country's 47 prefectures. So initially, Japan was like, we'll have a state of emergency until the end of May 30th or May 31st. However, all the prefectures, all 39 prefectures, which out of 47, which the only exceptions are Tokyo, Osaka, Kyoto, Chiba, Saitama, Kanagawa, Hyogo, and Hokkaido. So
So the
other than
busiest ones.
exactly, other than the exact of these sort of busiest cities and sort of especially places like Kanagawa and I believe Kanagawa, Saitama, and Hokkaido are also sort of like tourist places, right? Other than these sorts of places, everybody else is sort of lifting the state of emergency, which I don't think obviously is still a very good idea. But it's happening, so we'll see what'll work. Abe is kind of pushing for this, right? He said that depending on how the situation evolves in the future, he may redeclare a state of emergency, which seems kind of silly to me. I think I think it
I
would be
mean,
a
if
little bit.
I feel like if you're in the state where you're like, maybe I'll just do another state of emergency.
Yeah, casual state of
Maybe,
emergency. Why not?
maybe just don't open things up then.
Yeah, I know. It's like we kind of not really flatten the curve, but like if we don't have the curve flattened, we could try flattening again. It's like can we just fix it the first time?
Oh.
But yeah, it's very. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, that was that, and the last piece of big news before we go into people news and stuff like that is something very, very, very big. And again, we don't usually talk about adaptations and anime anime release news because there's a lot of them. But this one is important. So, Key, Aniplex, and PA Works hosted a live stream presentation on Sunday to announce their new anime project collaboration, also called "The Day I Became a God," or "The Day I Became a God," known in Japanese as
Really do not
Kamisama
like
ni
that
Nattaki.
name.
Yeah, the original television anime series will premiere in October. So this is their first collaboration since Charlotte, whatever you want to call it, right?
I think it's Charlotte.
Yeah, Charlotte. And I guess it's their most recent one since Charlotte. Obviously the third one, since Angel Beats, third collaboration between the three since Angel Beats.
Which one's getting better? Which one's getting worse?
That's a good question. So continuing, Jun Maeda, obviously, he will never die. They will keep pumping formaldehyde into him. Is credited with the original work and as a scriptwriter. Naga, one of their most stalwart and infamous sprite or art designers, is returning from many other visual key arts and key projects as the original character designer. And obviously, PA Works is animating the series. So after listing 2010's Angel Beats and 2015 Charlotte, the promotional video teases 2020. The hands of time are set in motion again. What comes next is the origin point for a return trip. Jun Maeda returns to the starting point. So
Wow. An Air remake.
I hate everything about that sentence.
So obviously a lot of the stuff is like sort of edgy fluff, the beginning and the end, and the end of the beginning and the blah blah blah, right? The video also features in the text the day she became a god, the world veered toward the end times. Blah 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 blah. So yeah, I don't think I need to.
Are you ready, Spire?
Are you ready for the end of the beginning of the end?
Yeah. So I mean, Nier, do you want to go first? What's
All I'll say is if they're gonna be like, the main character became a god, so she like pulled the characters from Angel Beats out of heaven. I'm gonna fucking kill myself.
I think no. Well, I think the Angel Beats or like the Charlotte characters will be in the background in like the credit scene of the final episode as like a cameo.
I love
seriously, I'm not even
cameos.
kidding. I seriously think that'll happen.
I
But-
don't want this to happen.
But I think this will be more about like.
Yeah, it'll be like the ending of fucking Space Patrol Luluco.
But I think the general theme will be something. It's the usual variant of like, the girl or like the main hero became a god and she was able to stabilize the world or whatever.
Oh
But
god,
but
it's like
in exchange, she has to give up her soul and her emotions or whatever,
I
right?
love Madoka.
I love Clannad. I love Clannad.
But she has to give up like a part of her essential core of her soul or her emotions or whatever.
Delete yourself from the timeline.
Exactly.
Who would-
Else
who
it unstabilizes the universe, all
Lane,
that
I
shit.
love Blaze Blue.
who would
Lane
who would
is
win?
fucking great.
Who would win in a fight? Tenchi, or that chick from Clannad?
Which chick from Planet? There's like a lot.
The
There's
one.
fucking
Oh, the
swords
snowfield?
shooting out of
Are
her
you talking
arm.
about the snowfield girl?
Yeah. Or dang, what's her name? Ayu? Yeah, Ayu.
Are you from Korwa Zombie Deska or something?
No, that's Ayumu. I'm talking about Ayu. Is it Ayu?
I don't.
I don't remember, dude.
From which series?
Sukumiya Ayu. Yes, I'm correct. Sukumiya Ayu.
All right.
Tsukimiya Ayu? Wait,
do-
what?
Do you not remember Canon?
Oh, Tsukimiya Ayu. Oh, this. Yeah, okay. I mean, I have no idea. The only time I've seen these people in battle is Eternal Fighter Zero. But anyways, my opinion on this is like, I think honestly, they should.
I mean, they're
My
one
opinion,
for
my
two so far.
One for two.
So
My opinion is honestly
Which one's the one?
they should go full
Angel
cheese.
Beats.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I like how you had that.
It made him
You
retroactively
just-
forget about Angel Beats, bro.
I think Toast just like stabbed you in the heart with that question. Which one is the
Hate
good
you
one?
guys, dude.
Because okay, one of two. I think I was thinking of like 2 or 3, maybe 3 of 6. 6? Can
Well, he's
Uh,
talking about just the PA works.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the PA Works series.
What about Charlotte?
Shit.
But anyways,
Wait, was Charlotte PA Works? Because I know Little
yeah, the
Busters.
3 original collabs are Angel Beats, Charlotte, and this one,
No,
but-
but which one was Little Busters?
JC Staff.
Oh,
So
So 0 of 1, okay.
I don't want to talk about that either. because I
0
get
of
PTSD
1.
for that. Yeah, but anyways, I think honestly, I think the biggest mistake. Well, I think one of the reasons why Clannad, I mean, Clannad was truncated very very well as an anime, but I also think that like the whole like the lights in the city and the snowfield girl and stuff like that was also like cheesy enough so that people were like, all right, whatever. Like it's stupid, but we'll go with it. I think honestly,
You know how long
They
it took for them
go-
to talk about the lights? Season
Yay.
2, way far in.
yeah, but I think they need to go full ham. I think it's better that they go. I mean, obviously, if they balance everything and do everything well, it's fine. But I think if they had to err on one side or the other, instead of being like full, limp dick, it's like mediocre, like, well, it's just a hero, and well, like, they did with something like a rewrite or like, or a Little Busters. I know these aren't PA works, but from the general sort of key line, right? With the thing that they did with Charlotte, right? I think if they go full Olympic like that, it's not going to work. They have to go full ham. They should go full ham. Like, even if the people are like, oh, this is cheesy, I think it's better for them to go full cheese and be like, oh, like God, grand entrance, super edge, well, end of time of the beginning, whatever it is, than it is for them to be mediocre. I think that's better. Other than that, I just
So are we
it's not-
talking?
I mean,
Are we
do you think
talking
they
Summer Pockets or
do you think
Harmonia?
they can go full ham with this premise? Like this
I
premise
don't think they
seems
will go full ham.
so-
I think they'll be vague, but I think that's different from going ham. You know what I mean? Like they'll be vague as in like the girl will be like, "Oh man, I'm on an island and then we're doing something." And that kind of relates to the end of the beginning, and then we're on a field of flowers and then it's all white flowers and blah, blah blah, all this crap, right? And I think that'll be vague and it'll be all nicely symbolic, right? Like it's some sort of like you know like some sort of idol J-pop music kind of light bubblegum feeling, right? But it won't really be like a grandiose kind of thing, right? And I think I don't know, especially since I think anime adaptations have a kind of a hard time of creating that sort of level of grandeur. The reason is because the visual novels have all the time, right, to set up all the routes, to do the true end, to write all they want, right? They can make, a route like 50 fucking hours long, right? And nobody will bat an eye, right? And that allows them to kind of fill this out and create this grandeur if they choose, right? And if they write it properly. But anime adaptations do not have that time, right? Anime adaptations are almost entirely like their quality is almost based around how well they truncate these routes in visual novels, for example, right? And a lot of these collaborations, even the original anime collaborations of Charlotte, of Angel Beats, of whatever, right? Charlotte less so than Angel Beats, right? But Angel Beats is written almost in a visual novel style, right? If you think
Yeah.
about it. Charlotte is much less so. It's much more like a regular anime. But in general, I think it's a little bit harder for the anime pacing to create that sort of grandeur filled ending. I still think they should try though. I think they should try. It's
I
again, it's better
mean,
than being
that's
the grand.
why
Yeah.
Angel Beats was successful, right?
Yeah.
Like,
They went for the cheese. I mean, I mean, they were. It helped that they were in a surreal context, which this could also be, right? But they still kind of slam the button. We're going for the cheese, right? We're gonna have Tenshi just jumping around. We're gonna have people just like all crying and solving and whatever at the end, right?
Yeah.
And Charlotte, I think, wasn't like that, and that's unfortunate. But yeah, they should try. They should try. It's better to go out with like a bang like that and almost just risk getting laughed at than just become mediocre and forgotten. I think.
Charlotte was more Little Busters than it was Angel Beats.
Yeah, I would kind of agree, I guess.
But with Summer Pockets more Canon or Clannad.
I'm not liking Summer Pockets so far, but I'll have to see. But
Cood Walter?
Koodwafter is not. Koodwafter is like a different. Koodwafter and like stuff like Tomoya After it's like a very different beast from like the mainline series of visual novels.
Was that the one where they had like a civil war, world war?
A civil world war.
So I think you're talking about the general sort of like ending of Little Busters, but yeah.
Wow! Don't spoil it for me.
Okay.
You asked.
Anyways,
like I know there was a muscle war, but not a world war. What?
No, well, that's part of the joke. But anyways, we're all hoping that it turns out well. Obviously, nobody here is hoping that it turns out poorly, but we'll see how it goes.
I'm glad they brought out Naga again. That guy's cool. Or
I
girl.
mean, Naga and Jun Maeda will always be key projects.
Yeah.
Until the end of time. Until they die.
I mean,
hey, don't say that.
When Jun Maeda dies, Key dies. Let's be real.
Well, he does need a heart transplant, so
they're gonna like try to revive like some Frankenstein shit. Like I swear to God.
Yeah.
They're gonna do satanic rituals when he's gone.
Honestly, I wouldn't even be surprised if like 10 years from now, like Key comes out and he's like, yeah, he's been dead for like 15 years. Well, we don't know how to write anything. We've just been using his name.
Yeah. We're just gonna use his name, or we're just gonna like expand randomly or something like that. Yeah.
That's what ghostwriters are for.
Yeah.
Wasn't there a series called Ghost Rider with a car? No, that's Ghost Rider, isn't it? No.
Yeah, you're thinking of fucking.
I don't even know what
Knight Rider.
Knight Rider.
Yeah. Knight Rider. Whoops. I'm thinking of a different show entirely where there was a Ghost Rider and I think solves mysteries.
I'm not sure, but anyways.
Yeah, the mystery of good writing. Where'd it go? I don't know.
Anyways, moving on to the People news here. A couple of mainly sober pieces of news. First, the Arts Vision Agency announced on Friday that voice actress Kito Satoko passed away on Friday due to an unspecified illness at the age of 58. Kito played Lamika in the 1985 Vampire Hunter DOVA, Hichikatere in the Bakuso Kyodai Let's Go television anime, Meiko Nana in Attacker U, and Minamikawa Yoko in Dokyusei 2 Special, Sotsugyosei. Did other stuff in Pokemon, Sailor Moon, blah, blah, stuff like that. Please wish her family and friends condolences. Next. Ishikawa Yui's talent agency, Mid Management, announced on her Twitter account on Tuesday that they have filed a police report regarding threats against voice actors. The announcement stated that malicious posts have continued since April, threatening harm to Ishikawa herself, her family, and her agency. The agency is staying in contact with legal advisors and police as an investigation gets underway. The announcement also apologized to fans for causing concern and thanked them for support. Very unfortunate. Again, lots of crazy fans out there. Some, of her roles, very famous. Mikasa Ackerman, Attack on Titan, Violet Evergarden, the titular Violet Evergarden, so on and so forth. Next, this is a pretty funny one. Anime director Tatsuki reported on Twitter on Wednesday that he has filed a police report due to threats that began in April. He noted that the perpetrator has been threatening several others besides him, and he plans to reveal the details in the future. So again, that's a little bit dangerous. And then Tatsuki said that some aggregators, like manga aggregators, I guess, or like anime aggregators, I don't know, and other sites are currently misrepresenting him or clients as a perpetrator in order to gain traffic. I don't know what this means. The director is seeking the
and they're saying that like he's the guy posting it.
Yeah. The director is seeking the immediate removal of the post in question, as well as posted corrections with apologies. But yeah, blah, blah, blah. He added that he is denouncing aggregator sites that ridicule or defame sincere people. It has been my impression that antisocial profiting from mudslinging against the industry has been on the rise for some time. I don't know what he's talking about in terms of like if he's talking about news aggregation sites or whatever he's talking about. But I guess
Yeah, what does that mean?
yeah,
For
I don't know.
aggregation site. At first I thought you meant like illegal like aggregation, like sites that were just like manga gear
Yeah.
and shit like
I
that.
would assume
Anime
news.
News Network.
I guess like
Yeah, I
news or
guess-
something like maybe even like something like a
He's
Japanese Reddit.
pissed
Yeah.
at ANN, bro.
Yeah, he is so
Yeah,
pissed.
he's so mad at r/anime.
Yeah, exactly.
Who isn't?
Anyways, next, the Aoni Production Talent Management Agency confirmed on Tuesday that voice actress Yamashita Mami has tested negative for the new coronavirus disease, COVID-19, after testing positive in early April. While she's now allowed to leave her home, Yamashita jokingly tweeted on Tuesday that she would stay home all day anyways. So yeah, people are slowly kind of recovering from COVID symptoms, so that's pretty good. Please wish her the most safest of transitions.
Continued health.
Yes. Next, voice actor Mizushima
Oh.
Yu announced on his blog last week that he will go on hiatus to undergo vocal cord polyp removal surgery. Mizushima further updated on Monday that he is going in for surgery on that day. Mizushima explained that his voice had been cracking since last month, that he could barely muster his voice since last week. Very unfortunate. Again, please wish him safe, procedure and a speedy recovery. He does stuff like Kentaro Go in Voltus V, Voltron, or Isamu Kurogane in Voltron, Orion Jaguar and Saint Seiya, stuff like that. A lot of other sort of stuff. Roland and Food Wars, the third plate, so on and so forth. And final piece of news. Takami Asano, or Asano Takami, guitarist and backing vocalist of the band Go Diego, passed away on Tuesday, May 12th, at the age of 68. His family found him collapsed in his home on Tuesday morning, and he was rushed to Tokyo Hospital, but was pronounced dead there. He'll have a memorial service on a later date. So, one of the founding members, he did a bunch of stuff for anime films and stuff like that. Please wish his friends and family condolences. And yeah, with that, we are done with the news here, and we are on to our shoutouts and call out. So everybody gets one shout out, one call out. And what your shout out is, I don't know why I blanked out there. What your shout out is, one thing that you want to praise, 6 out of 5 stars, something that you want to talk very highly of, and it can be any one person, place, or thing. And call it is the exact opposite, 0 out of 5. You can't think about it without shaking in rage, so on and so forth, and it can be any one person, place, or thing. And I guess I'll go first here. So
Smart, what are your shoutouts and callouts?
What?
Yeah, go.
Yeah. Thank you. My call out is actually it's around the similar thing, but it's like my call out is to people who are roaming outside already during these times. Just
I see them all the time here. They're not even wearing face masks.
Yeah, the weird thing is, it's like even
Well, I don't think
like
you need to, as long as you're not like going somewhere. Like if you're
Yeah.
outside to like exercise, like I don't think you have to.
I,
It's a
like,
little bit harder
I see
here.
them walking around the lake near my house.
But
Yeah?
like even just 2 weeks before,
What if
everybody
they
was still
poison the
scared. and
water?
kinda- if they just the 2 weeks before, people were just like staying inside and actually helping flatten the curve. But now people are just like all running outside. They're like, "Oh man, we can't. We need our haircuts. We want to go and
I
meet our
need my
friends."
haircut.
Yeah, blah, blah, blah.
For
And
who,
it's like,
bro? Who's
yeah.
suing it?
And it's just like
For my
guys.
Twitter and my
Yeah.
OnlyFans.
Yes, you're only but yeah, it's very. I'm not very happy about that sort of stuff. Everybody's just going outside. It's not like, again, if it was just them, that'd be one thing. But obviously, they are affecting a lot of other people, that they could potentially infect. So very unfortunate that the people are doing that. My shout out is actually
shit.
to the general sort of like, I want to say the Japanese like anime like voice actress sort of like that sort of industry, because a lot of them are just like they're all coming out of the woodwork. Like literally in this past, I want to say 2 to 4 weeks, right? We've seen just like all sorts of like voice actresses, singer songwriters, all sorts of talents just come out of on YouTube and share their thoughts, share their expertise, write videos on what they do, right? How say like how they draw or how they sing or how they do stuff like that, right? Almost like lecture videos, right? And share all sorts of content, and it's been really interesting because it's like again usually, especially these days, right, when voice actresses and so on and so forth are all like sort of treated like idols, right? They're like, we can only look at them from a distance on their shining stage and all this garbage crap, right? Now they're all coming on YouTube, right? They're all coming on YouTube and they're just like streaming and shit. And they're like, okay, we're here. What do you want?
Are you counting
Yeah.
Sugita in this too?
Yeah, for sure.
But
there's
he's a
Sugita.
VTuber.
Yeah, he is a VTuber now, dude. There's Sugita, there's Kajiyuki, right? I don't think anybody there's if you know about anime, you know Kajiyuki, right?
No.
He's out, Toyosaki Aki, people members of Sphere, like everybody's just like coming out and just releasing YouTube stuff. Like there was actually a funny video that or not like intentionally funny, but it's like there's a voice actor called Kotobuki Minako, and she's most famous for voicing Sumugi Kotobuki in the K-On! Anime, right? The blonde-haired girl, right, with the eyebrow, right? So she is apparently like studying abroad in England or something like that, and she recently released a video of her doing her Japanese dubbed lines, right? So she's taking the lines of the characters she voiced in Japanese and doing English dub voices for them. So we're really getting pretty deep in this sort of thing. So I like that sort of like content where it's just like, all right, this is getting kind of silly. But anyways, that's my shout out. A lot of interesting content being released recently, and probably more and more people are going to come out. And I don't think that this is going to go away once the quarantine ends. I think just because it's going to get integrated into the general sort of mainstream. But yeah, that was my shout out and call out. Nier, what do you have for us?
Oh man, I don't know, dude. Um,
How's the Niagara
Let's
Falls?
do,
I don't know.
what is with you in fucking Niagara Falls, dude?
That's the only place I went to in Canada other than a arcade, and also I played Halo. Like,
Niagara Falls is literally on the border.
Yeah.
This is you, buddy.
Uh-huh.
Anyways, keep going.
are you saying Niagara Falls is the Great Wall of China between Canada and USA?
If only. But
Yeah, whatever. You guys are fucking trying to illegally get in. I know it.
I don't
Lie
know.
to me.
Are we allowed to talk about the new Twitch staff?
What?
Why not, bro?
Do it.
I don't know.
Don't give
Hey, man,
names.
there's
Don't give
there's always YouTube.
just
there's
don't-
always Mixer.
just don't give the names.
I mean,
Listen, the clip's got 500,000 views. Like, you can
yeah,
at least say that.
like
I think at 500,000 views, you're able to talk about it.
I feel like it's open season, fine. But so there's a certain member of Twitch's new Trust and Safety Council board thing.
I've never felt safer.
Yeah, and some recent statements
Is
came
Germa
out
on it?
from them, and some recent clips from their Twitch streams have surfaced, and they're a interesting individual. The first clip I saw was one of the individual in question advocating for the removal of voice chat in video games, competitive video games, because they are inherently unfair and biased towards those with not normal voices. I don't really know what they
Yeah,
were
it was pretty
trying
interesting
to
because it
imply.
wasn't even for people who are like mutes, right? Like it wasn't even
Yeah,
for mutes. It
it
was
was
for
like people who have somewhat effeminate voices or some sort of speech impediment. They'll probably get harassed if they go into voice chat. So, you know, instead of teaching tolerance and acceptance in to future generations, we should just like ban voice chat in every single video game from now on. And
I agree.
uh, they were reasonably blown out. And then some other clips came out where they had streamed themselves and their partner on twitch.tv doing lolly furry RP.
Why both of those
So
words at the
me,
same time?
bro. That's
Why?
so
Why?
And
me.
it's probably genuinely the most uncomfortable thing I've watched that has come from twitch.tv. And I have watched a man puke into his own hands so it goes like all over his entire face.
We just
Give me
Like,
them clips.
I mean, I can get them for you if you want.
Yeah.
oh my
They're
God.
probably still like the most popular clips on
Yeah.
Twitch right now.
Hit me up with those.
Um, but yeah, that person's like fucked in the head. I don't know how else to say it. Um, so that's my call out. Um, I don't like that person. That's about it.
You don't feel
Yeah.
safe? What the fuck?
No, I don't. I don't think that person. I don't think. I don't think
I don't think that
people.
person's like allowed around schools, gonna be honest.
I don't think a person in that mental state should have gotten the position on a trust and safety council for any corporation, let alone Twitch.tv. It's very concerning that they got that position. Uh, but I mean, it's the current year, so like, screw it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, bigot.
Yeah. As for my shout out, I don't know. Not much good has happened. So that. But I don't know. Shoutouts to Pekra playing Dragon Quest V. Pretty cool. Pretty fun stream.
Can you believe she chose the most obvious choice?
Yeah. I mean, she's been playing like bangers lately, so
She's had like 3 or 4 gambling streams alone so far.
yeah.
Anyways, thank you, Nier, for your shoutouts, callouts, or shout out and call out. Dark.
Mine are gonna be. I'm a little torn up about the call out, but mine for shout out, it's gonna be pretty quick. Or not pretty quick, gonna be a pretty easy one. I'm gonna shout out the VR chat Discord server. There's been a lot of like help in there for just setting up like stuff, character rigging, Blender stuff, Unity stuff. Pretty much if you need help in that, there's gonna wind up being someone to help you at some point. I've also helped out some other people too. It's pretty cool to just have like a bunch of people starting from essentially like nothing, like in a lot of cases, or just like not really knowing where to go from where they are and getting very like pinpoint help on things. Has been really, really good. and there's been a lot of people who have done a lot of tutorials that are just really well made, like honestly could be on like paid sites like tutorials. So that's been really, really cool to see and to have help with. You know. And for my call out, now that Twitch is out of the way, trying to think. I guess I gotta. Fuck. I had something. I had something really good too, and now I
Do you want to?
can't
Do you want to? Do you want me
remember
to
it.
transfer over to Toast, and then you can kind of think about it later?
Yeah, come back to me for my call out. I gotta think
Okay.
about it. I gotta
Alright.
remember what I was. What there was something that happened like during the week that I was like, well, I know what my fucking call out's gonna be.
All right. All right. Then Toast.
What's up?
Shout out, call it, please.
Oh, my shout out is to Inugami Koro-san. Yeah, there you go. Take that.
Kurone.
No,
Yes.
Koro-san.
Okay.
You can't say that word
You can't
around
say
here.
Oh yeah.
It's I think it's Swedish.
really?
I think it's like
Does it really?
Swedish or something for the thing.
Okay. Wow, that's really weird.
It does get picked up.
Oh my god, that's amazing.
Hasn't she been calling herself like the dog or
Yeah.
something?
Does
in
she-
her
does
fucking
she-
title
Does do her VODs really get whacked because of her
because
name?
of her name?
She
Yeah.
doesn't even put
Oh
it.
my god,
She
that's horrible.
she removed her name and it just put like what is it like Inugami Senzaimon or something?
Yeah. Okay, Oh my god, that's horrible. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, she's still playing Dragon's Lair. It's been what, 14 hours, I think.
Oh my god, she's fucked up.
Okay, like people like her and like Lulu, just like I don't know what the fuck is up with them. They just like keep like grinding through like 22-hour streams, and I'm just like, what's wrong with you people? Like,
Well,
And
they
not
do.
only-
They
not
only.
only that, but she's just like, yo, here's this like fucking dog shit
It's
game.
Dragon's
You
Lair
try to
NES.
play it
It's
for
really
12
bad.
hours.
But yeah.
A lot of pride in those.
So yeah, congrats to your 300k sub stream. That's 14 hours long and still going. I think she's gonna stop at 100 tries. She's at 77. So yeah,
shaking my head right now.
shout out to her and her perseverance. Also,
Yeah.
her 350k subs. Her she's making a like short 10-15 minute English only chat at near the end of her streams, and people really like that, me included. I can see why people simp to her.
What's your call out?
My call out is to whoever's harassing Yozora Mel. You're the reason why she hasn't streamed in a very long time.
Yeah, it's
Jerk
very
ass.
unfortunate. Don't harass people again. You know, you don't have to like what people do. You know, content making wise, you don't even have to like who they are, right? There are plenty of people like content people that are like assholes or selfish or whatever. But let's not create fights over them, right? Never a good thing to do. But yeah. Anyways, very unfortunate again.
Nice.
Like what Toast said. Dark, do you have your call out for us?
Fuck no, I don't.
Do you want to think of something?
Yeah, I'm just gonna come out with one, I guess. I mean,
Shout out to New.
I already shouted out. I
Oh.
shouted out the VR chat Discord.
Is New York
They've
open
been,
yet?
Super helpful. No, God, no. We're not opening up until like mid-June or something at the earliest
Yeesh.
now. Yeah, I mean, even then, it's like we still shouldn't. Like, we have like 100-something deaths a day still, I think, and it's like, bro, we shouldn't even like be opening until we have like sub fucking 100 hospitalizations a day, in my opinion. Just because, like, I don't know. I feel like the numbers there, the spread would be too easy, but that's just me. I'm gonna call out. Yeah, fuck it. I'll call out Twitter. Fucking cancel culture shit.
Is it because they
Posted
hate?
in chat
Oh.
recently, they figured out like earlier this week. They figured out that Joji is Filthy Frank, and just went ape shit. And it's
How
just
did
very.
it take them this long?
Exactly. But then again, people are like, how did it take them? Like, they're really that stupid? And I'm like, bro, you're talking about K-pop stan Twitter. Like, you thought these people were smart? Like, what do you mean?
But people
Like,
don't people like Filthy Frank? I like Filthy Frank.
yeah,
He's got
a lot
funny
of people
memes.
like Filthy Frank, and a lot of people like fucking Joji. Like, Joji's music's great. But, yeah, K-pop Twitter did that. Proceeded to call him out for using the N-word in one of his songs with a hard R, even though it was kind of like appropriate for the song. I'm not gonna get into the actual
Yeah,
song,
yeah, yeah,
but
yeah,
Did
yeah,
an
yeah.
did he?
entire
The
like
important
He was
question
doing
is,
parody
like a
song made in
yeah.
jest.
He was doing like a racist redneck bit, right?
Yeah.
so you're saying
And
he had
that well, that
permission?
was pretty much the entire song was that like
Yeah.
supposed to be like a fucking parody on that mentality.
So he had
Um,
permission. What's the problem?
I mean, just in general, it's just like, yo, like, that's what the fuck are you doing? And immediately, also, the person who called him out used a racial slur in a follow-up tweet,
Yeah,
which
I
was
saw that one.
probably the funniest fucking thing I've ever seen.
Oh boy.
Uh, but yeah, so I'm gonna call it that because not only is it like incredibly dumb, just like in the idea of you fucking idiots didn't realize he was Filthy Frank, uh, but also like, yeah, he was Filthy Frank. Sick.
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
I mean, there's not much.
what
There's not
else
much
you
else
got?
to say. Yeah, yeah.
It's just very fun to see cancel culture go nowhere when the people that is like they're trying to cancel don't care, like at
Yeah.
all. What are you going to
And it's
what are
not
you going
like.
to do? Do you think
I
like
mean,
anyone is actually going to fucking see like well
I
the
mean,
only time
the
cancel
biggest
culture
thing.
even really works is when someone has something against them like that's already bad and which wouldn't have needed to be cancel culture anyway, right?
Well, in my
Like if
opinion,
they're
also the bigger thing is that like Filthy Frank wasn't really like. I mean, this is like obviously hyperbole, right? But it's not like he made like snuff stuff. You know what I mean? Like he's not.
Well,
There's no.
what do you call that hair
one of the
cake?
worst one of the worst things he ever did was the cake series
Yeah,
videos, and that was just like
that cake
Those
hair. Oh
videos are
boy.
fucking godlike, by the way.
those videos are absolutely insane. I don't think we'll ever get anything as degenerate and disgusting on YouTube ever again. Uh, and I'm glad we have them. But yeah, so it's just like it's very interesting to see that because it's like, the people that this shit would affect would be people like fucking. I don't know if it comes out that like a tape of them yesterday, having a Hulk Hogan level racist rant, right?
Mhm.
Like that would work, but it's like you didn't need cancel culture for that anyway.
Right. Exactly.
But cancel culture never really works because it's like who cares? Like you think anyone who's not a fucking idiot is gonna listen to like weird white teenagers masquerading as like Koreans on Twitter?
Masquerading as Koreans.
I
Jesus.
mean, like, hey
It's what
man,
they do.
I have been like
Can you
Well, I'm not. I'm
confirm?
not.
quote unquote
I'm.
attacked
o-
on
I'm only
Twitter
half of that,
by
so
people
I wouldn't know. Yeah.
who I've experienced. They made the mistake of putting actual personal pictures on there.
That's pretty funny,
Uh,
actually.
yeah, they have like some Korean fucking like pop star as their Twitter handle. They have
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah,
Korean
yeah.
girl
Like
like
with the
pictures
Avatar
on there,
girls. Yeah, yeah,
but then they have like a picture and it's like this really like fucking very clearly like fat white 13-year-old kid. And
yeah.
I'm just, dude, what are you doing?
Nice.
Or they're
Like,
like,
I wonder which one of these pictures is you, bro.
or they're grown men. It's like, eesh.
Like, what the
Please.
fuck, dude? Yeah, they look
See,
like the TikTok fucking goblins.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
this is why you use an anime picture, so everyone knows that's not
I
really
mean, the
you.
thing is, like, look, like I have my pictures are typically like my picture for years has been Sonic from fucking Kekai Sensen, the monkey, and
Yeah, I
I
mean,
have like real pictures of myself on Twitter where I go after people from time to time, and it's like I don't care. Like, I got nothing to lose, fam. So
but yeah,
I don't know.
very,
I
very.
just always thought the whole
So you're
This
telling
shit's
me
pretty funny.
you're not a black guy?
Not quite.
Oh.
No.
Anyways,
Why have I been asking you that related stuff all this time then?
You have
Hey
not.
man, beats me. Yeah.
it's like, are
Every
you?
day comes in asking me about, like, hey man, what's up with rapper?
Yeah, it's like, are you telling me you're not Deku? What the
Oh.
fuck?
Oh
Bro,
yeah.
let me tell you something. I am Naruto.
Yeah. Anyways, thank you, Dark, for telling us about your shout out and call out, of course. And with that, we are finally done with episode 144 again of 4Player Animecast.
What was
Thank
yours, Fire? I forgot.
My call out was to the people just wandering around, even
Oh
though
yeah,
they
yeah.
should
Okay,
be,
I remember
yeah.
now.
And my
Oh
shout
yeah,
out.
wait, mini follow-up call out from 2
Yeah.
weeks ago.
Do it.
Ika Gordon is still oddly silent on this
Oh
whole
yeah,
id Software thing. Just gonna point that out there.
Oh my god.
He's too busy watching Hanamakia play Doom 64.
Anyways, and so thank you to all the viewers here, and all the listeners out there listening to this podcast. We are not necessarily super, just like a quick like advance kind of thing. We are not necessarily super decided on what might happen in the next episode, and maybe for the the summer preview, because of the sort of lack of series coming off during the summer, of course, and sort of everything slowing down. Right, the season sort of, in a sense, isn't ending, quote unquote. Right, just cover fuck arena again. Yeah. Well, think
Bro,
about
this
it.
is literally the perfect time for guests.
Yeah. So
We can let's do a retrospective of anime from the past 20 years.
From the
Top
past
20
2 months.
years.
the top anime of the past 100 years.
We can
But,
each do an
Past 2
anime.
seasons.
We can each do an anime in increments of 5 years.
yeah. But anyways, we'll see. We'll see how that goes, and if things clear up in Japan or something like that, and we'll let you guys let you guys know ahead of time how that is going to be planned out. But we are planning on just maybe going back to some older stuff, or covering other media forms a little bit more if everything slows down in the anime season. So again, we'll let you guys know ahead of time. But yeah, thank you for listening to us here, and to everybody out there again listening to the recording. We record our podcast every other Saturday starting from 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time over on the US. So 10 p.m. EST. So catch us here on twitch.tv/4PlayAnimecast with the numeral 4. Catch us talking every other week again about the latest in Japanese animation media, anime, manga, light novels, visual novels, web novels, so much more. Catch us here. Catch us out there. On our YouTube channel as well. We have VODs both on our Twitch page and on our YouTube channel, so you can catch that in whichever format that you please. Check us out on our social media, on Facebook, 4PlayerAnimecast, and on Twitter, our handle at 4PPAnimecast as well. So check us out there for our latest updates. And with that, we'll see you next time.